Yeah, I mean, Super is a good example. Like, Super's one of the best Western players ever. Like, guy's insane. Like, he's really, really good. Mr. Snailman, thanks for the 2 months. Welcome back. Hello, best friend. Vega, bro. Yeah, Vega's also another example. But Vega did come second at the Esports World Cup. You can't deny him.
Who was the first white boy to go silly style in Overwatch League?
Silly style. Silly style.
Finally, someone's getting into the real, you know, the real meat and potatoes of this.
I gotta get out of here.
Raggy? Yeah, I could buy some of that actually.
Avast. Crocs. I think you spelled Crocs wrong there. Vol on bird noises was pretty silly style. How old are you? Vol and bird noises. What was your year of birth, Selena EXO?
Have you just woken up from a coma?
My bad, man. I'm 25. Yeah, it shows. It fucking shows. Let me tell you. Like, 99. Yeah, I
job lips without even watching that much.
Bird noises and Vol. Like,
thank you, Wolfobos, for the 17 months.
My bad, man. Like, you're feeling like really attacked. You reckon this is royalty-free music they're playing? It's got vocals.
You know why Kellex didn't go at Saudi E-League? He gave a wild excuse. Did he actually give this excuse? Because the excuse is there's a war in Middle East, which is why I can't come. Did he actually say that, though? I feel like this is the sort of thing that needs an example. Because I just heard he wasn't available. And obviously Haku was.
Also feels like an incredibly reasonable excuse. Like,
yeah, but it's just like where's the sort, you know what I mean? Like, where's just where'd he say it type thing, you know?
Anta, would you like to Yowie kiss with Hammond under the elder tree? Only people that are subscribed to me get to write bullshit like that. Put that person in timeout for 10 minutes, please.
Because I know there was a situation where like a few of the teams with like players based in Saudi Arabia were keen to move them out. Just
thanks, Jay.
Just wow, there were like, what was happening at the time? It was like when some of the airspace was being locked down, so they sort of moved them, I guess, precautionarily.
God bless.
Start your climb to OWCS by joining Faceit League. Gain competitive experience in weekly Faceit League matches.
Would you though? Hope I'm safe.
Yeah.
You say there's always war in the Middle East, but like I think at that time the war in the Middle East was like a little bit escalated compared to before. You know, like the whole United States spam bombing Iran thing, and like Israel escalating the conflict with Iran. That felt like more war in the Middle East than what is a typical amount of war in the Middle East. Hunter, can you time me out for 10 seconds? I can't rhinos for dope, but I'm sure one of my moderators can make your dreams come true.
I can do it for 10 minutes.
10 minutes? You could probably do rhinos for dope for just a second. I'm getting eaten by dogs.
Oh wait, maybe I can. Oh wait, I've got 30 and 1.
Barbecue dog. War never changes.
Deep.
Eating a kebab right now, thinking of you. Do you like kebabs, fat cummies?
Maybe they really hate kebabs, and that's why they're thinking about you.
Fair enough. Fat cummies does kind of give me the impression that they despise me.
Honestly, guys, my current feelings of all these, you know, Ziad has posted a thumb down, and now everyone is jumping to all sorts of wild conclusions, but no one's provided any additional evidence for any of these conclusions.
Has anybody given an explainer about the skin tone?
Everyone is just trying to really read between the lines. The problem is, there's no lines to read behind because it's just a single emoji tweet.
Do we think Dip potentially keeps OWCS spot with a TU blow up maybe on the horizon? That's an interesting take, but Dip did also... Wait, did Pack just come last? Yeah.
Yeah, that was Pack relegated.
It's possible, right? Because TU... Heesung posted LFT. Like, TU would need Kai, Kev, and one other to stay together in order to keep the slot, right?
Yeah.
Like, it would have to be... I assume if three
Kev,
people
Kai,
stay, they keep the
Sky.
slot. So Kai, Kev, and Sky. And it's like, is that core going to stick together for another stage after what's happened thus far? I'm not certain. Like, it's more likely that Kev winds up on a team with money.
Yeah, it becomes a question of what is the quality of that roster you could put together if you have to fill all the pieces with potentially no money as well. Versus
exactly.
Is
especially
especially for someone like Kev, there's going to be an offer, right? If he's available, someone's going to make a move.
Yeah. Are they in game right now?
Well, let me have a cheeky min.
Just see like a
just highlight the highlights. Yeah, face it Masters highlights, I believe these are.
Oh, fucking what a treat. Does Kai post another bait retirement post? Like, I mean, how many more has Kai got in him, you know? Like, at this stage, I don't know if Kai would retire, but like, I'm not sure. Like, if people stop getting paid at this point and they're like, you know, in their mid-20s, like what's the point? Like, what's the point of continuing to compete if you're like, you've already had like really high highs in your career and there's like no more money to be extracted from the game, you know? Like, I think Hitscan is a really competitive role in EMEA. And like, if Kai's no longer like at the top of that and he's no longer getting paid, like if his paying roster blows up and he can't find his way onto a paying roster right away, I feel like it becomes a lot more difficult to like just keep playing, right? Goat in top left. I swear if it was Jake, I'd be pissed off. Ask Soon. I mean, I'm pretty sure Soon is getting paid a fucking packet to be Terrence Talia for that team.
Now, it's under the assumption that OWCS don't give them a special exemptions. Why would they give them an exemption? Like, it's just for rules. There's no reason to give these guys an exemption.
Yeah. Kai could go to main support. That's true.
I heard Vision want to get Kev and put him on Hitscan. I mean, in reality, most teams would want to get Kev, right? You remember when we had this whole situation in Stage 1 about Violet, and it was like, oh, who would benefit from Violet? And the answer is all but about 3 teams in the world. And you asked the same question, who would benefit from Kev? Actually, most teams. I think there's probably enough teams, you know, in EMEA who are happy with their flex DPS, who won't actively be looking, you know, to like, even if they think a player might be 5% better, you know, like Alcad won't have any interest. I don't think BP necessarily will. Don't expect TM necessarily to either. Like, maybe Genji becomes the obvious one, right? In terms of ship who are you back over. Maybe look for a Korean support player in some form. Get Kevin. Maybe something like that seems like the most reasonable on paper, but yeah.
Feels strange to not be hit with 10 ads when I join the stream. I'm turning over a new leaf. I'm not running 10,000 ads on you. Not today, at least.
Well, we're actually into the map. Ads. I feel like I've given you no warning for this, but we're boosting it up right now.
I mean, that's okay. That's so fine. I don't expect a warning. I just
I'm so upset myself.
I'm
tamping. I'm self-tamping.
Desktop stream. Fucking. Why is there nothing on the co-stream layer? Did I hide my browser? What the hell have I done? Clean feed. That's what was missing.
All right, I'm locking.
22, 21.
It just works.
20, 19. It just works. Beautiful.
All right.
And we've got match of the day, potentially, or at least one of the more interesting matchups. This is the upper bracket. He's singing. He's
match of the day theme tune. I thought you were doing a football joke, but I guess in hindsight, that was one of the most foolish things I've ever assumed.
Yeah, it's outrageous, given you know my level of football knowledge.
All right, is going to be Lucio ban from Team Vision. Obviously, expect them to lean into the double flex wherever they can. Anomaly, they love. Lucio, they love. Kiri, but Team Vision will be targeting those where they can. Tracer ban on the other side to allow King to play Genji. Choi is going to play Sombra, but he is on life support right now. Can get pocketed out of that one, successfully cloaked up. And Vision are going to swing and pivot round to the point side.
Already on the run, you can see Crocs flying in from the top rope looking for an angle, but Vision, they've postured very well to put so much space between themselves and the enemy team's tank. So Anomaly, they just can't close the gap for the engagement, but they've got to be careful. They may get the cap, but they're still under a lot of pressure right now. Tama gets comically aggressive and is taken to the cleaners. Crocs is all over one as well over on here on the coast, and he's going to clean up that kill. So Team Vision, they get the cap, but they cannot turn it into a fight win.
They took him to the cleaners, but there is no polish in that play there. Absolutely disastrous start. After they had all the good position in general, Team Vision, the double flex support backline, they want to play relatively slow, give options for Violet to play in these flanks, support Choi into some of these positions, set up ambushes and assassinations. But then Tama just makes a recklessly aggressive move, and now they have to play retake. Eyes on Violet and Choi here for how they choose to take this one. Choi's actually super far behind right now. Window comes out, but there's not too much to window, actually.
Seems there's no targets for Eagle Slayer's window currently, as everybody's going to kite it out. Crocs gets very aggressive, but Tama maybe a little bit committed somewhere, lost quite a lot of health there, but no, Team Vision, they've completely kited out that window. Choice A1 setting up behind, but misses the virus on the Baptiste, now being chased out of the fight. Slowdive going to bowl a shot, only onto Crocs, catches nothing really, and Choice A1 just continues to poke in the back. So much pressure from both sides coming onto Anomaly right now though, as Vision get the first kill.
Vision get the first kill. Terror Surge over the top. Does actually find the kill onto Jonowitch. Suzu keeps Tama alive through all of this as well. And Vision should just be good to stabilize from this point on as well. Looks really rough for Tama, but the pocket is enough in the end. They get themselves back in control of point. And they have EMP for this next fight. So all eyes on Choi here. If he wants to use this one proactively to try and hit Anomaly early while they're setting up. Difficult for the Bat Brig especially. Or does he want to use it just to try and maybe counter out the Blade or something like that?
Wow, where is the match chat when we need it? Zoro down here on the coast poking away up to high ground right now. So awkward to retake into the EMP, but they do know where Choice A1 is playing. That can allow them to posture around this one. But all of it, normally they're so balled up. It's like they're asking to get 5-man EMP'd right now, and Slowdive is already closing on another bowler shot. Crocs off-angling in main, looking for his own angle to engage and actually get onto a squishy, but still, Choice A1 just holding up on the high grounds above the enemy team. Window from EGS, yet again, going to allow the team to step up, and no EMP yet from Choice A1.
Still getting into position, goes for it now, does connect a big one. King's going to try and Blade to turn it though, but Downpour comes out, but Deflect is good, looking for one, but he's... Oh, get him, kick in the face! King will be shut down, but it's far from over yet. Crocs and Zoro have cleaned up on point here, and they win the EMP fight Anomaly.
Somehow, some way, Anomaly are able to clutch that one out. King and Crocs together doing so much work. And even when King goes down 2-1, still the remainder of Anomaly are able to clutch it out. Jonowitch, a bit slow on this rally right now. And one is going to be able to walk right back in with an orbital raise. It's going to be a very hard fight for Anomaly here if they can't find a pick in the neutral. Choice A1 right now on the objective. Speedring comes out from one though. You can see he's trying to boost Tama into the fight, looking for an angle to get his own orbital ray off. But he's been pushed out of it a little bit. Crocs tried to catch him but couldn't find the kill, so that's a one-player lead here for Vision.
Aware of the danger, and now one can take this player advantage towards point. They're still trying to play it slow. They have to lamp. Jonowitch nearly has the rally, but it's a hard one to turn. Amber Cap's gone through. They chase Troy, actually. They could go back into this. Crocs will be there soon. Javelin is good, but they can't convert the kill. Quick retake a possibility now for Anomaly.
Got to be so careful. Tama's got that Terror Surge push in already. So many ults being thrown into it right now. Tama finds a kill into Zoro, but Violet is traded. How has he managed that? Spear comes out from Tama onto the rallying Brigida. Still very back and forth as EGS and one trade flows. Jonowitch trying to play life on the Mega, but can't get it done. It's King and Crocs versus the world right now. Anomaly, Zoro's coming back. Eggs has the window as well, but the flip, a potentially game-winning flip for them.
Jump back in from Crocs. He's going to try and buy as much time as possible. King falls off screen. He's going to go down now as well. It's 3 players left for Anomaly. They have to rush in. The window is there. They're trying to force it in with the Freya, but they need kills, and it's just not enough. Needed Crocs and King to just ping-pong a little bit more. Maybe if they could juggle more like Anthony Galato, they would have been able to stall that one out for a bit longer.
Famous juggler, that Anthony Galato, but Anomaly ever so slightly letting it slip through their fingers. You can see King having a bit of a hard time there versus slow dive on the Freya. It's very difficult to ping pong versus the Freya if she can just fly up to the skybox. Looking over to the elimination side for Anomaly, you can see one of these things is not like the other. Crocs killing absolutely everything. Next highest set of elims, 4 for Zoro. Croc's playing a little bit of hero roulette here in the spawn. Going to be difficult to play the hazard on a more flat, long map, but really, there's no perfect solution here. I'd imagine Tama's just going to stick it out on the Orisa. Croc's going to play the D.Va here, try and catch some of these squishier supports.
Rolling out now, anchoring point initially is Tama, but eyes on Crocs. D.Va not a hero we associate with him a lot, as Choi is back there swapping onto the Sombra as well. But really against the Juno Kiri, D.Va should be able to do a lot now. Normally you'd expect a brig swap when possible, but we'll see if Crocs can connect, because Sanctuary is a big old map. Just grouped up now, and Crocs has lost these mechs, so he will not be connecting on anything anytime soon.
Instant death for Crocs there, and just no sign of life here for Anomaly. Vision, they've got all of the angles in the world, a trade onto Violet, a classic, really. But Team Vision, they have a huge advantage now, as they've got a comp that can play super wide, and Crocs, I mean, it's all on him to connect with King to find one of these squishy supports and find an early kill in the neutral. But if Crocs doesn't get a one-shift kill, he will be stuck between so many different damaging players, so many players at wide angles, and you will just lose your suit like he has in the first fight.
Eyes on Crocs now as he tries to make his next approach. Going through the right-hand side here. Going to force a rotate. There's a lot of space to rotate into. He's going to go right-hand side, taking it step by step right now. Slow process as he looks for the back line. Cancels the hack on back, clears Choi out. Now he's making his move. Shift onto the back line, but the back line's still too far. Team Vision continues to pivot around the point. Violet dies.
Violet dead again, 2 in a row for Violet, and this time it's a first death, which means there's a real opportunity for Anomaly. King misses the virus onto slow dive, but already he's been zoned out of the fight a little bit. Vision, they are managing to hold on to the point right now, but with slow dive going down, that's 2. Make that 3-player lead here for Anomaly, so they are going to get the flip, and not a moment too soon. Violet is TP'd back into the mix for one more death, God bless, as that's going to be 60% for Team Vision, Anomaly in control.
Back in control, ult's about to come online as well. So now, all of a sudden, Anomaly, while they're in control of a point, they want to be the more aggressive of the two teams. And now they can hold close, look to use this Rain, this rally once they get it quite aggressively. They just have to worry about this EMP timing from Choi. See where he is now. He's just trying to set up on this left-hand side. He's gotten through, but he's going to need another cloak timing maybe. He's just going to virus and try and play for the trade. Needs to find this EMP timing. He's in position now, though. Eyes on the back line. Terror Surge there. EMP over the top to kill the rally. Takes that one down immediately. Crocs is trying to trade in the back with Zoro, and they've got 2, actually. Zoro now swinging towards the point, but they're playing for the flip Vision. So low. Ray comes out free for Zoro now, though, and it's expensive in the end for Anomaly, but they will flip this one back.
Vision spent a whole lot there as well. You can see Tama, Slow Dive, Choice A1, they all dumped their ultimates, and Tama making the move over to the Ramatra here. Not entirely sure about this one. This is a big open map. I don't think that it really lends itself all that much to Ramatra's style of play, getting up close and personal, brawling with the punches. I think that Tama's swap here, potentially game losing, as Choice A1 is just going to go down before the fight even has an opportunity to begin. Team Vision, they're waiting on their support ultimates, but they're still not prepared, and nobody is set up for this next fight. And normally they're going to be able to go so fast in this next EMP. King, what are we doing?
Oh, his EMP'd so early. They've killed one anyway, so maybe it'll work out just yet. They keep King alive as well. Really hoping for more out of those EMP turns, as Crocs is going to try and matrix everyone out. He might have to self-destruct here as well. Hack comes through, trying to punch for Baby through this as well. Tama does block, but the remake goes through. Violet dies to the bomb. Grow up, Violet. Come on. Now, on the back foot, still Vision. They're stuck in spawn. They have the Ray. Are they going to use it here? They have to Ray in their spawn just to get out. Crocs manages to shift away, and Anomaly have robbed the bank.
Crucial kite now, but EGS has gone down on the kite, so perhaps on a trade onto Choice A1 and still more pressure onto one, but no, Team Vision, it looks like they are going to clutch this one out. Violet coming back on the Brigitte. He doesn't even make it for the final fight, but Vision, they clutch it out regardless. King looking for a kill onto Slow Dive. Zoro finishes that one off, but still Anomaly. It felt like it was right there in the palm of their hands. Crocs now making the swap over to the Orisa, counter-swapping Tama. This is the final fight, Zav.
One more retake attempt for Anomaly. Only the overclock to work with. Last one was really a great overclock from Zoro, but it's the only ult this time. It's going to be into a potential EMP, into an overclock, into an annihilation. Need Zoro to find value here. Anomaly, they need to create space for Zoro to carry him here. He's probably been their best player in these tournaments recently. Needs to step up here.
So many ultimates for Team Vision just around the corner. We really need Zoro to finish this fight early or not at all. Otherwise, Choice 1 and Slow Dive are going to come alive. Overclock pulled on the flank. He slides in. Violet, he manages to bash around the corner. He's going to fight it face to face. He goes down yet again, but Zoro is traded. Tama has the Annihilation, is chasing EGS. EGS is 94% to that orbital ray. But the bash, Jonowich manages to flail into safety. Slow Dive pulls the Overclock. Will kill Jonowich at 99. Kills King as well. But EGS, he's got the orbital ray on point. Crocs, he's scrapping it out with Tama. It's so incredibly close, but there's no opportunity for the finisher. Crocs, he's the only man left standing. Crocs versus the world. One more fortify, but with a manual hack, it's Zoro out in the... just no hope. Jonowich so close and goes down to that rack.
They did such a good job to get eggs out of that 1v1 with a ram. Kites away, the whip shot helps. Everything sort of seems like it's lining up. Ultimately, maybe just a 1-for-1 trade, not enough value out of Zoro in that initial overclock. And then once that brig goes down, there's no rally. They just get overwhelmed. By the time the raid does come out then from eggs, Crocs can't even spend that much time playing in the raid either, so they don't get the value out of these ultimates. And while it was scrappy from Anomaly, ultimately beaten, but has to be said, that was Vision's map pick, that was Vision's map ban. They targeted the backline as well. Now Anomaly have a chance to protect support, take us over to a Kiri-Lucio matchup, where they've had all their success on really in Face It Masters and early on in this tournament as well. Now it's going to be the key matchup for them to win.
This just really felt like two incredibly winnable cough points right here for Anomaly. And this is a ban scenario that is really one of the most punishing for Anomaly's strengths. I think that getting Violet over to a hero like Ilari or something like that, it's actually not all that terrifying to play into. It's felt like these double flex comps have felt very fallible for Team Vision. Definitely conditions to win. So I'm not terribly concerned for Anomaly. It doesn't feel like this is going to be a clean 3-0 by any means. And right there, I mean, you could see even in this 2-0, it's 99-99 both times and really slipping through their fingers in some crucial moments, but lots of signs of life here for them, and I mean huge performances from Crocs across the board. I mean, like you look over to the damage dealt here, I don't think that's going to make all that much of a difference, to be honest. Vision just like to shoot their guns, but young Violet, he goes down in the neutral seemingly every single fight. That man is playing to be relegated right now.
Yeah, I mean, the fall off really does seem grand when you compare this to maybe some of the heights Zeta Division reached last year. For those asking as well, match chat is turned off as we are on the OWCS broadcast now, unfortunately, so we are being absolutely robbed, stolen of entertainment and dopamine, as I guarantee you that was not a wordless exchange in that first Busan between Anomaly and Team Vision.
You can well and truly rest assured that Violet won't have said a word, but Crocs will probably have filled the chat 15 times over. King, you know, maybe he's learned to respect his elders and respect his superiors in the server, or, you know, perhaps a little bit more likely he's going to be piling on as much as he possibly can onto Violet's shoulders in the hopes of tilting him and taking him out. And it does appear that Violet has been at least partially affected in some capacity, as he got first picked 6 times on Sanctuary alone.
Thank you, J9, for the 16 months tier 1 as well. The shit talk makes it more interesting. Can we start comparing? Yeah, no, all agree. Are either of these teams going to lose to Dip's team? Don't know. I mean, I don't know what to make of Dip's team, because I actually have them in still like quite high regard, but it feels like they're awfully shaky when it comes to something going wrong or dropping a map here. Like, Anomaly really had their number in the Kiri-Lucio, and I think if I'm one Dip or the 100 Gorillas, I'm very much thinking about ways to play alternate comps more often as than not. And it's probably going to be a pretty similar matchup here really between Vision, you know, where we're going to see Anomaly try and really get us onto these Kiri-Lucio mirrors, while Vision are going to really try and get away with these greedier backlines. Violet on Ilari, Violet on Kiri where he can.
Yeah, it seems reasonable now to go into something like, maybe a hybrid and ban out a support, ban out a Brigida, so then the double flex is forced to be played and you can play Lucio Kiri into it, or ban out one of their double flex preferred characters, ban out the Baptiste or something like that, and again, play the Lucio Kiri. I'd have to imagine that support is where the ban is going to come out first from Anomaly, because if they don't ban out a support, then that Kiri counterban is right there for the taking, and we know how badly they want to play the Lucio Kiri in this matchup, how much that is their strength. So I'm really expecting to see Anomaly come out and ban a support, protect the Lucio Kiri lineup, and potentially harm what wants to be used for Team Vision at the same time. But who knows? Maybe we even get ourselves over to an escort to try and deny the Circuit Royale. I think that's one of the stronger maps for Team Vision. Maybe avoiding that is a good shout.
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable one as well. There's obviously like a lot of maps that really do actually quite favour them in some of these. I think when you look at the push maps and the flashpoint maps, these are ones that are obviously very strong for Anomaly's comp. But because a lot of the push maps, like the Esperanzas, are all quite reasonable as well, I think you can really actually just leave the flashpoint and leave the push until the later ones, when even if Vision gets to pick those maps, they've got much more limited choices available. I know we are. Let me just double check the map pool because I know we're on like a slight. Is it slightly different, or no? We still on the same one?
Has to be different, right?
Yeah, it
We've
has to
seen
be different.
Atlas in play,
Yeah,
right? So something
yeah.
must have changed for us.
Yeah, I can mold Blizzard World in Midtown, which is actually like a really good set of hybrids for really great set of hybrids if you are Team Vision. And then we got Circuit Royale, Shambali, and Watchpoint Gibraltar as the escorts as well. So honestly, a lot of these escorts and hybrids look a little bit tough. Maybe Shambali is potentially the best one, if I'm Anomaly.
I don't like this pick from Anomaly right here, to be
Ooh,
honest. I think
that
that
burns it straight
they've
away.
gone to, yeah, they've gone straight to Flashpoint. And Flashpoint is a game type where the Lucio Kiri is almost always viable anyway. And now on the next, even if they even the scoreline up 1-1 here, it's just going to be possible for Vision to take them to a game type where double flex is incredibly strong, and they can ban out the Kiri and they can make things very, very awkward indeed for the side of Anomaly. So really not super keen on the map pick here from Anomaly early on, because I do think that Flashpoint is something that's better left to not protect.
Yeah, in reality, I mean, to be fair, out of all the Flashpoint maps, the new addition here, maybe partly because it's a new map, there's always room for more experimentation, but also just due to the map's architecture, maybe the most suited to their type of comp, but we'll see how that translates. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a hazard here. Generally speaking, when this ban is used, the Juno's ban is in play, we still often see either like a BAP Ilari or a BAP Kiri instead. There's this alternative available for Vision, but that BAP becomes a little bit more of a reasonable target, especially if Anomaly want to lean into like the Hazard Kiri Lucio we've seen from them so often.
The Hazard Kiri Lucio is mega for them when Crocs can just go for gold in the backline, and as soon as there's a little bit more pocket and a little bit more support for Crocs on those aggressive plays, Kiri's TPing on, Lucio getting in the mix with him, really gets enabled to a whole nother level. I think, the Tracer ban, that came out from Anomaly on map 1, did it not? Was that their removal, getting King over to the Genji?
It was, yes, for Anomaly, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how much I like that, to be perfectly honest with you, because I do think that, if slow dive's happy to play the Freya all the time, just hamstringing yourself and making it impossible to match the Tracer. It's not like King is trash at Tracer or anything like that, or that Choice A1 is outrageously good at it. I think, it might have just made things a little bit more difficult for them, to be honest. It's great to play Tracer into double flex comps, because you can always catch one of those squishy supports. So I'm not really sure what the vision was for the Tracer ban there, but, going over here onto Atlas, I think Tracer, Genji, both fairly viable. It's a bit more awkward to play Freya on this map, so I think both of those are good. But we'll have to wait and see what they decide to roll out with here. Surely a bit of Lucio Kiri gameplay. The Juno ban as well to protect.
Yeah, I think very much expecting Lucio Kiri out on the side, and the big question is whether Vision do what we're seeing on our screen right now, where they just mirror it with the Kiri Lucio, a comp that is never really their strong point. I think when lots of people have talked about scrimming and playing Vision, the scary thing about them is they just have certain maps and certain comps where they are genuinely able to compete with some of the best in the region. But on these other comps, these Kiri Lucio mirrors that we're about to see now, these are the ones that they can potentially struggle on. So must-win map for Anomaly, because this is a really good map for them, a really good comp matchup for them. Have to find success here, and Crocs is going to be starting on the Hazard into Orisa.
Yeah, it does look like a clean mirror with the exception of the tanks being switched around. We saw in the previous match, a Hazard struggling in the first fight here, but that Hazard wasn't Crocs. Trust Crocs will find a way to get an angle and to get onto a backliner in this first fight. You can see he slashes over, baits the Orisa to take a little bit of position here, but he's happy to just go back and forth, back and forth. He has actually used his shift and his wall though very early on, so his angle isn't perfect right now, but he has closed the gap onto the Sojin just a little bit. He baits the Orisa to drop, and now he's looking to go top.
Trying to find an opening for him. He's going to use the wall as a bit of an alley-oop. Now he's on that backline, and Tama is out of the fight. He's Suzu to try and save him. Goes for the slash. Can't find the kill onto Violet, but Jonowich can. Swoops in, takes that one down. If they can pocket Crocs back up, they have player advantage, but they've given the flip.
They've given the flip, but you can see how Crocs was just playing to perfection there. Baits Tama to drop, but goes down! One actually finds a trade, even with the player advantage. Somehow, Anomaly not quite consolidating this one, and Vision got the first cap for that initial gambit. So really, if they don't clean up soon, this is going to be a total disaster for them.
Troy now onto the back line, pressure onto that Lucio, and they have dragged that one back out. Missed opportunity there for Anomaly. They needed to save Crocs in that situation. They needed to keep him alive through that kill, like they did in the first fight. But Vision get the punish, and with that cap, they've got so much progress as well. Troy is going to run into everyone early back to his team, but eyes out over to the support oaks, because Jonowich, he's got this beat advantage.
Could be a potential beat push angle here for Anomaly, and with Crocs finding an early one onto slow dive, that is a great start. EGS needs to be so careful as they're speared into the wall and taken very low. But Crocs just flanking behind, pressuring the objective early on. You can see though, Anomaly, somebody's been caught out. Zoro's going to go down early. Will they get the flip?
Flip secured, looking for a trade onto the high ground now. Eyes on the backline, pressure onto one. Suzu has been forced, and TP has been forced. Now they can look for the kill on the next one. Violet's committed for boot, messes up Crocs' wall a little bit. They're trying to flip a point back right now. Violet is forced to go. Beat comes through, but Violet has one to match right now. They are all over Violet. Violet gets the beat off. One even gets it towards the tail end as well. Great beat in the end from Violet. Saves everyone. Now they can push back forward, and they are good for the cleanup and the first point.
Secured.
This is a mess of coordination from Anomaly right now. 5v4s repeatedly being squandered as too many cooks in the kitchen. Flips taking place as other players are stuck behind. Beats coming out as Crocs is kiting. Nothing seems to be going right from Anomaly from the team play standpoint. You can see individual plays really paying off. Kills coming out in the neutral. 5v4s created, but never consolidated and shifted into clean fight wins. Really falling apart here. And with just even ults exchanged and already a 1-0 lead for Team Vision, Anomaly, they need to pull their finger out a little bit.
Vision in control of a point early on as well. Kitsune Rush available for both here. Overclock's in play too. Zoro's going to swing wide. Kitsune Rushes will be trade. Zoro drops the overclock. Pressure coming through from Tama. He's taking so much damage. Suzu actually blocks a lot of that downpour, but they just killed Tama through it all. No tanks available, but Zoro with a late connect. Now the headshot comes through. Slowdive with a late overclock trying to turn it, but he can't find anyone to shoot at.
The 2v3 overclock comes out, but nobody in his sights. Overclock has now expired, rail burned as well as Slowdive and One are trying to kite this one out. One's burned his TP. Got to be careful that nobody catches the pinch there, and there you go. EGS catches the kill into Slowdive very late indeed. King's had his recall forced out, trying to close more kills. But you can see the step continues. Zoro wants to get that final kill, wants more.
Tama tries to swing back with a Javelin. Thank you, Power Buika, as well for the tier 1. Now in control of point. Anomaly, no ults photo. Will they choose to go early or do something surprising? Traces will run into each other. Recalls will be forced. King now still trying to take that fight as all of Team Vision are grouped up at the moment.
Everybody's very grouped up for Team Vision, but they do have the ultimates to actually fight if Anomaly overstep. King gets an early pick onto One, though. Tama's Terror Surge finally comes out, and Tama is the only victim of it. EGS is traded, but there's still a one-player lead for Anomaly right now. Violet's a little bit ahead on that beat, but Anomaly, they're hooning towards 100-0 here on this second flashpoint over on D. Vision, they're going to be staggering for a touch here as Violet comes up on this beat.
Gonna have to rely on that beat, but Jonowich isn't far behind. Diva is eggs for a support ult to mirror. Early pressure comes out as Tama's gonna try and walk to point. Has to get his toes on it. Does, but Violet dies on the way in. 99 to beat. Pulse bomb to finish the job, and that's just for point for Anomaly.
Here's the swing back for Anomaly now. They've got themselves a nice little lead. Winning this final recontest fight from Team Vision without using an ult is great for them as well. You can see how their ult bank is consolidating. Zoro, Crocs, Eggs, and Jonowich all coming up on their ultimates now. It's only King with a pulse bomb that hasn't built it up. So Team Vision, they're a little bit behind in this state. You might see a couple of check marks online, but those are soon to swing in Anomaly's favor. And the early point positioning, it has been taken by Team Vision, but Anomaly are happy to play this one slow, build up their ultimates, and then push in with the advantage.
Coming out for high ground now. Tama's going to try and match that position. Wall behind Tama right now. Kitsune Rush in his face. One doesn't quite have it to mirror yet, so Violet's going to beat first. But now Jonowich, later beat is available for him. But Crocs dies to the pulse before the beat. They're going to keep trying to fight as they've committed the beat now. Zoro nearly has overclock, but they need kills quickly. Just trying to consolidate right now, Vision. Keep each other alive. They've lost Tama while doing that now. Now the overclock. Zoro thinks it's winnable. Looking for it. Violet is dead. Kitsune Rush out in response. Zoro takes the duel with slow dive. Nails both shots. Zoro's turning it all. Tracer pressure on him now. Choi's trying to force the kill. Kitsune Rush swing as well. One gets two, but Crocs is back just in the nick of time. An Anomaly save for point.
Zoro thinks it's winnable. He'd be right. You can see Crocs standing still to type. Sadly, we are denied by the OWCS broadcast the pleasure of seeing what Crocs has to say. But even though EGS is nearly dead in main, Crocs is in a position standing still so that he can type in match chat. Crocs has the downpull right now and he's marking the flank diligently. No chance for Choi Se-wan to work his way in. Tama spins up. Massive downpour on the side. Violet is completely isolated. He doesn't get rooted, but he's split off from his team. And that's going to be an easy fight win here for Anomaly. It's already 60%. If they can press this advantage to spawn, it's going to be day done.
Recall forced out of Choi if they can find any late kills. Zoro's having a bit of a look right now, but nothing meaningful just yet. Anomaly short on ults again, but that's not really stopped him in these previous fights. Kitsune Rush will be up mid-fight, but for now, Vision they can retake with Slow Dive's overclock. Looking for an opening now, though. Zoro, Slow Dive can't quite see anything yet, though. Crocs above his head. Jump in. He's going to pop it.
Oh. Swing in from slow dive, pulls the clock, takes down Zoro, looking for more. Isn't going to need much more, to be honest, as Crocs and Jonowich will both fall. Vision, finally some room to breathe as they get the retake here. They press forward as well, will find EGS. Later, respawn wave for EGS as well, completely separate to their team. Anomaly, they only really have one proper chance to retake this. They're a little bit ahead on their support ultimates. You can see EGS is about to have that Kitsune Rush and Jonowich 70% to the beat drop, but Tama's got a Terror Surge and that could make all the difference.
Needs to be careful here, Tama. Oh, the backline's so low, actually, from Team Vision, but Tama needs to be careful. This Terror Surge on top of a Kitsune Rush could see a lot of damage coming his way. Violet's getting closer and closer to the beat, but not quite yet. And it seems Anomaly are actually slowing it down, farming their ults before they go.
Tama's looking terribly lost, taking so much damage in the neutral, but that has allowed Team Vision to charge up their support ultimates. EGS is going to go down before the beat is online. Jonowich still doesn't have the beat, in fact. Support's traded. No Kiriko's alive on either side, but Jonowich goes down at such a crucial moment as Tama's Terror Surge clutches up and closes out the point. Team Vision, I mean, they're converting this 1-1 into a 2-1 lead now on Atlas, and you hate to see it for Team Anomaly. They stepped up a little bit too early on in the piece. Jonowich was significantly ahead of Violet on beat drop charge, but because of all the poke Tama took, Violet actually gets that first tempo beat. Classic Violet style, standing there hamping it up on heels.
Missed opportunity there for Anomaly, and remember, this is their map pick. This is one of their strongest game modes in this matchup versus Vision here, so they need this win, really. Jonowich has the beat advantage now, but one has a support of his own to mirror with that. Zoro's got the overclock, though. Last one was a big one. Need more from what has been their star player so far. Zoro's looking right now with the overclock to kick off the fight. They forced a recall, actually, if Zoro wants to trace this. Kitsune Rush comes out. Jonowich goes down with the beat, doesn't get a chance to use it, and Zoro, he's just accepted his fate. Oh, horrible start for him.
Truly falling apart here for Anomaly as that high tempo push from one completely pays off, and Anomaly, just no opportunity for them to turn with their ults. You can see now Crocs is being staggered out, the entirety of Team Vision chasing, but Zoro, he actually finds a late scalp onto Choi Se-wan as he chases 1-for-1 exchange here, but Anomaly can definitely turn this one into a fight win for themselves. Tama completely lost, completely isolated from the remainder of his team. He's lost. He has no idea where he's going. He's pulse bombed in spawn. He's dead. That's maybe the second or even the third time this map that we've seen Tama caught out. One now has no TP charges. You see him doing the little double stutter step there for his TP out, and this could be a free flip here for Anomaly. They've got their tank on the objective, and Tama's in no position to ping pong.
Team Vision just trying to ping pong it a little bit with the Tracer, but it's just now that recall's force, it's just over. Downpour comes out from Crocs as they want to try and chase the advantage. They've got Violet in it as well, so that'll do the job. King's going to go back to the team. Choi does find that trade, so we're 4v4, but more backline kills from Crocs will save the day. They just need to keep tabs on Choi right now, but it looks like Vision, no supports, slowing it down, regrouping and playing for retake.
These are really dangerous trades for Anomaly. Team Vision already stepping up to the point. Jonowich still has this beat drop from before. Finally, he pops it, but it's a 3v5. King and Crocs are still on respawn. The flip has gone the way of Vision in all of this. Violet nearly has another beat save here. This could be the end of the map if we're not careful. Kitsune Rush comes out in the back. Eggs pops it, but already Jonowich is dead. Beat comes out from Violet, now lapping Jonowich. Overclock reinforcing it from Slow Dive. And this is just going to be the curtains closing on Anomaly for map 2, Zav.
That's going to be it. That's going to be Atlas wrapped up for Vision. They just had too many ults in the end, and it felt like there was an opening there. When Tama got lost for free retake, it all seemed possible for Anomaly. But we talked about even not agreeing with this choice of map at the start, because it should have been, in theory, been so good for the comps of Anomaly. But they can't convert it, lose 3-1. Now they are on the back foot, and this is a really tough situation for Anomaly to dig themselves out of.
I think this is very much a case that we've seen again and again for Anomaly, where they struggled to slow things down. They were closing on a beat drop on that second or perhaps that third flashpoint, but they push in and Jonowich can't get the beat off in the ult exchange, does not quite have it online. Then they win a fight, they get the flip on the objective. King greeds towards the enemy spawn, gets himself picked. Crocs greeds towards the enemy's team spawn, gets himself picked, and there's no opportunity for Jonowich to pop a meaningful beat to counter anything out. Has to use it 3v5, and you can see it's these rushed moments that, I mean, it's feast or famine for the side of Anomaly. Just as much as Crocs carries, clutches by going deep, by taking huge risks, he will also cost his team heavily. I mean, you can see Tama doing much of the same, although I'm not sure that we're seeing the same level of carrying firepower coming through from Tama over on the Orisa. Frankie Tanky, thank you very much for the 9 months. Welcome back. Happy Mpreg month, mate.
Thank you, AUA, for the 17 months tier 1 as well. Hiding game chat when Crocs is in is just a shame. Someone on Faceit just doesn't like fun, I guess. No, Faceit had match chat on. It's unfortunately OWCS who don't want us to see what Crocs is saying to Violet.
Respectful comments, I'd have to assume.
Just keeping it all really above the belt.
That's what he's known for. Above the belt. Non-stop. Now, I mean, looking over to the next map, what can you even do if you are Anomaly in this state? You can see that their approach was protecting support, but now they've just had support mirrored on them. They've just gone Lucio Kiri versus Lucio Kiri and managed to lose it. I think they do have to stay the course. They know that any other matchup is just going to involve Vision being on something that is better still for them. But now that Anomaly's down 0-2, they're very much backed into a corner where at some point they're going to have to play a good map for double flex with a Kiri ban in play, which means that it's going to be very hard to beat a double flex comp. Even if they can win the next map, the one that comes after, they're going to have to play one of a hybrid or an escort, and that's going to be incredibly difficult for Anomaly.
The addition to that as well is, while we've seen Vision have their clear strength in these double flex support backlines, but also be able to play a more than acceptable Kiri Lucio as well, Anomaly doesn't have the same diversity in their hero pool and their comp selection. So I think for Anomaly now, what you need is just another map, force another Kiri Lucio mirror, tighten things up, and play for the momentum swing. We saw Anomaly do this against One Dip versus 100 Gorillas earlier, right? Once they got that head of steam, they actually ran away with it. And again, if you cast your mind back to Faceit Masters, where these two teams met in the upper bracket and Anomaly were able to win a very tight 3-2, again, a lot of the way Anomaly play is fast, aggressive, it's high-risk Overwatch. But to do that, you need to play with confidence, you need to play with a lot of momentum, and they just need to try and gather some of that, get it back, because they're not going to be able to... On paper, they can't win at this point because so many of the map picks are against them. They just need to win with gut and gumption more than anything else.
Gut, gumption, and perhaps getting inside little Violet's head. The problem is it becomes progressively more difficult to get inside the head of your opponent. You know, even if your opponent is known for suffering from particularly high levels of brightness in a series, it's actually really hard to turn the lights up when you're already down 0-2. You need to win a map where the enemy team felt that perhaps they had a chance of winning it. So here, I mean, this is well and truly Anomaly's last chance. They are already down 0-2. So, I mean, you lose it here and you have been 3-0'd yet again by Vision. So Anomaly really need to turn it around here on Midtown. They're going to pick Midtown. Surely they're going to ban out one of Baptiste or Ilari here. I'd hazard a guess and say that it's probably going to be the Baptiste. That feels more impactful than the Ilari ban. But overall, uphill battle and then some for Anomaly.
Yeah, I think the problem with the Lari ban is Violet will just play Kiriko, and Anomaly are never going to ban the Kiriko because obviously they want to use it themselves in a lot of these situations. So I think the Alari is maybe useful if you've used all of these, but the BAP one potentially more impactful here. Obviously means we will see Juno Kiri, but the Juno can be a more exploitable target there as well. And this is really tough for Anomaly. They're actually going to go, yeah, with the bat ban and a sim ban in response here, which doesn't really feel the most impactful for Vision. I guess it is fair to say a lot of teams do try sim, particularly for the Midtown first attack, just to try and break that first initial choke. So maybe it's not going to affect the entire course of the map, but it protects themselves against this one specific point.
Yeah, I suppose they're not too bothered by anything that King can throw at them except for a little bit of Symmetra cheese. And you know what, taking that out of the equation, allowing Vision to just play what they're comfortable with. You know, maybe they'll play a Lucio Curie again, maybe they'll play some sort of bastardized double flex comp, but they won't be susceptible to the Symmetra, to those fast TPs onto the objective, into the Mega Room. So we'll just, you know, more or less be a bit of front to back gameplay. And, you know, we'll have to see whether the Lucio Curie can get on top of these backliners or whether we're just going to see a Lucio Curie mirror overall. Slowdive, I mean, it feels like I've seen Slowdive play a decent amount of Freya, but now everyone's sort of drifting more over to the Sojourn. First point here on Midtown, not bad for the Freya though, so maybe Slowdive wants to go for that if they're going to play the double flex, play behind a little bit, float up in the sky, make things awkward.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised to see Midtown come out in many ways here from Anomaly, because I feel like this is a map now. If you want to play the Hazard version, this is quite tough. Maybe they're just going to go a different route and just try and play the Orisa here. Maybe the Orisa into the Ramattra, we've seen them do that before, rather than the Hazard, because I feel like it's just, how do we connect this Hazard onto the backline, right? First is very big and open, second, even bigger and more open, and third, it actually just gets bigger as we go through the map, harder and harder to connect onto these backline. So, interested to see what they choose to pick here. Maybe the Sim was their planned solution for some of this. You know, we see Alcatzia are a good example of a team that used like Sim Diva, for example, just to really cross distances you wouldn't normally expect them to be able to. Can even do the same with a Hazard, even though it's not quite as synergistic. But really have to worry here for Anomaly. Need people to start stepping up, and people need to be popping off. And I think the big picture as well, if I'm Anomaly, because the winner of this gets promoted, right? So if you lose, you don't get promoted. But if you lose this game, you go into that lower bracket final against one dip versus 100 Gorillas, that is your big chance now. And this series is now really hard. But you need to make sure you don't lose everything or lose confidence or get in your own heads. You just keep the mental, basically, you know? Keep it respectful. Well, maybe not in match chat. Keep it respectful within your own comms. Yeah, keep up the same energy. Don't let yourself get rattled or lose confidence in what you're doing. This series is tough. Do what you can. Make sure we're in a good mindset as well if we do have to go down to that lower bracket, because that game is right after this one, so there's not a huge gap to reset.
Yeah, perhaps Anomaly can just chalk this one up to a loss at this point if we continue to see a collapse. You know, I do feel Anomaly is a very momentum-based team, and as it started to slip away from them there on the second map on their preferred matchup, as they've taken it to Midtown here, I feel that Midtown is a little bit of a short-sighted pick in a lot of ways. I think it's easy to take the bait on the first point. You think, the enemy team, they love to play the double flex. First point, if we play Lucio Curie and they play double flex, it's so easy for us to win with the Hazard. But as you were saying, you get to second point, you get to third point, the angles just get longer and longer and longer. It becomes more and more difficult to play the comp. Perhaps this Midtown pick is a little bit short-sighted in that regard, or maybe their entire strategy has simply been hamstrung by the loss of the Symmetra, a good counter ban. And normally they're down to their last coin though. They lose this one, they are into that lower bracket, they are straight into an elimination game. Let's see if they can pull it out.
Looking to pull it out, and actually Fidget have started on the Kiri Lucio here on the defense, just going blow for blow, happy to continue this mirrored backline, but they are playing the Sojourn with the Orisa as well. So you can see Tama getting very aggressive, and Zoro has got no friends, unfortunately. He's just been left behind. King is going to get shut down on the other end, and Anomaly, it seemed like they were setting something up, but all on slightly different pages, and Vision just exploit the timing.
We found a single trade for eggs, but sadly Zoro does have no mates, so he will be pushed all the way into spawn by Tama, who identified the mateless man. Eggs getting poked out quite a lot in spawn as well. Needs to be very careful, allow that passive and the Lucio's AoE healing, get him back up into full condition. Team Vision, now that there's a Sojourn in play for Anomaly, they're not going to be able to push main quite as aggressively. You can see once again Anomaly are going for a very fast push. They're taking lots of space over on the left-hand side as Croc swings right with the same timing.
Eggs has come through the left as well, so they've gotten a space, but they need to help King inside, but actually they do help King inside. The backup comes through, they get that kill. They've lost Zoro in main, but 4v4 still a playable situation. Thank you, Hirak, for the tier 1 as well. They're going to swing back out onto this, but Tama's just trying to keep him stuffed in the choke for now.
Tama has everybody contained inside this Mega Room, and this is a very bad position for Anomaly to be in. They really needed Zoro in main with that off angle. You need a double angle in order to make a play like this work, but now that Anomaly's all boxed in, you can see Crocs, he's going to be the one to go and play out in main, try and change the angles a little bit more. Headshot comes out from Eggs in main, and it actually will convert to a kill onto one. Slide from Zoro, misses the slide. He's got no mates, he's got no legs either. Deep push, but again, Eggs with the headshots, zoning all the vision back, and they've got no healing right now.
They have to play retake with these ults now, Vision. They've got both support ults and a Terror Surge to do it, but they have to come through in this difficult choke. Keep your eyes on Jonowich, focus. He is desperate to get this beat up in time. 8% short as the Kitsune Rushes will be traded. Violet goes for the beat. King is dead already. They're looking for this Lucio. Zoro is all hammed up inside. Great double support ult coming out from Vision, and the retake is convincing.
Making it look easy as they go for that beat push, and Jonowich once again just that little bit too late on the beat. Crocs is being staggered. Perhaps they don't realize that Crocs is only... Oh, hang on. He might be able to find a kill on Violet here.
Little bag.
So close to a trade there, but you know what? They fed Crocs, 25% of his ultimate there, so he will be back into it with a downpour that was otherwise going to be a little bit later. Still, Team Vision, they're in a pretty good position. They've still got 3 ultimates to play with, and Anomaly having a very hard time here on the first point. Zoro cannot seem to stop getting traded.
Looking to avoid for trades here now. Choi's keeping his eyes on this Tracer as Anomaly come through. They have that beat advantage, but Slowdive actually starts with the overhook. Is this going to force an early beat? They try and disengage, but Choi is hot on their heels. They beat back anyway. It's not a great beat at all, and Slowdive with the overclock should be able to finish off Zoro here. Does get traded actually by him, but one trade is not going to be worth all that much as they chase Crocs back into spawn. They do come out to save Crocs here actually. They're still scrapping away. Pulse Bomb invested by Choi. They were so desperate for that kill. Anomaly can maybe move quickly here.
No ults remaining for Team Vision. They burned the bank on that one. Anomaly is stepping up. You can see it.
Bank
and
is
they
up.
are ready to go. Crocs has the downpour. Zoro with the overclock as well. Slowdive should already be back into the piece, so you can see he's playing back of main. Crocs going for a high ground engagement. He has been scouted. Very aggressive this one, and he's taken his entire health pool. Absolute piss take there. Zoro with the clock, but it's already a bit of a mess, isn't it?
He's found one actually. Zoro, that was 97% to Kitsune. Zoro again! He's dragging his team back into this first point. 17 seconds left, but now they have player advantage. Tama is half HP. It's only Lucio heroes for Vision. Heals for Vision. They have to get out, but another kill for Zoro. It might be enough. Another one for Zoro. They can't stop him. 4 in a row. Crocs is back now. The cap has gone through, and Zoro has saved the day.
Apparently Crocs has given up, but Zoro wants it more. Good for 4 in that final fight, even though Crocs was surfing over the top of the train like he's playing Counter-Strike Source. Lost in translation from the looks of things. Anomaly now, they actually get to swing back into this one with that downpour that Crocs neglected to use in the previous turn, but Slowdive, he's going to get an early pick onto Zoro. Deep push coming out from Tama. He's actually burned both skills, maybe an opportunity to turn here, but no. Does look like Anomaly are just going to kite out and play for the slow game. Violet's already got another beat though.
Consistently ahead on this ult charge means they have double supporto. Again, Vision won the last fight on their first point retake, and now they're in control of the choke. They can actually slow it down if they want. Just mirror ults, keep Anomaly contained, keep themselves with that good position. It's on Anomaly to make the move. There's an early downpour. Violet will amp and avoid that one, though. Crocs is going to get Javelin back. Beat available to come back. There's the Kitsune Rush from 1/3, but they are going to mirror it. They're so low, though. The Terror Surge to survive for Pulse. Tama lives for now. He pushes forward. They beat it as well. Jonowich is going to beat back, but they're so far away here, Anomaly. They are trying to chase, but they can't find anything.
Oh, Tama's burned both skills, but now it's Slowdive with that final layer of an ult. Overclock comes through. Slowdive still hasn't found anything yet. Zoro actually will find Choi Se-wan as he blinks around the corner looking for a kill. King is traded, but Crocs is so incredibly low. This trade onto Choi Se-wan, they're not going to be able to convert it into any further kills as all of Team Vision crash out towards Anomaly spawn. Jonowich is going to go down, just desperately trying to get back into the spawn doors, in fact, as Team Vision, they keep on holding on very far forward.
Backline is now literally above them as King comes out on Widow, but I don't know if he's expecting everyone above him. He's going to go back and swap to Tracer. They have to take the fight at spawn here, but they need to clear everything out. Team Vision have just given the space at least. But no, wait, one's still behind. Obviously has the TP out if he needs it. Does need it. Goes back to the choke. Now retake. No ults to speak of. Zoro closest to the overclock.
Zoro closing on the overclock right now, but needs to get an angle to safely use it, and that is a huge ask with Team Vision controlling the choke like this. Choice A1 blinking over to the side. King just trying to ignore that Tracer duel and keep on blinking forward. Tama going to take a few on the chin, but the slide, you've got the double slide perk, you can't get the verticality. Tama continues to juggle this one too. A crucial rail is missed. 1-for-1 trades as Zoro and Tama trade places in the Undertakers. Oh my god, now we've got another push coming through, but it's a 4 versus 4, and there's no support ultimates for Anomaly to keep him going through this one. Crocs is going to fall, and now Vision, they just need to slow play for a second and then push back in.
They're trying to draw out the touch here. King is going to keep tapping. Needs to juggle it like Anthony Gatto right now. Eggs is going onto the high ground to take this duel. Has to use the Suzu. Slides in. Zoro's with him. Kitsune rush in response. They can keep this fight going now. Crocs is going to be back in the fight soon. Beats will be exchanged. Tama has the Terror Surge on point. He's pulled everyone in. Doesn't find any connect though. They all get out. Crocs is now back on point. Tama now on the back foot. King has a Pulse Bomb ready to go soon. No one has died in all of this, but King is looking for the chase. Pulse Bomb out. Booped into the wall. No connect. Now Slow Dive. Trying to find a rail. Trying to find something, but he's been forced back, and the payload's moving underneath now, Max.
Anomaly could have stolen the card underneath, but instead their backline have fallen back into main. Overclock from Slide Dive comes out, but he's lost the ability to use his hands. He misses every rail. He catches Eggs, who decides to peek it out of respect. It's a 4 versus 4 right now. Neither team has a Kiriko. Jonowich goes down as well. These backliners are so lost, so far away from the cart. Downpour comes out from Crocs now, but again he catches nothing at all. And King, he's not going to be able to drag this one over the line. Really, I mean, if I had to identify one moment where it slipped for Anomaly, it was when the cart was all the way underneath and Zoro slid back into main. Eggs and Jonowich both came back to save him. Just leave your foolish Sojin in main to die. Flip the cart underneath and play for the ultimate win conditions. Disastrous.
They had the quicker roll as well. Crocs' Downpour was available. They forced that fight underneath, and sure, Team Vision, they have the high ground, they have the better position, but they don't want to let the cart keep slipping away. So you force Hammer to drop, you maybe force a couple of these skills out, maybe you force a Suzu if you're lucky. Either way, try and force something, set Crocs up with an opportunity to hit that Downpour, and maybe it's clutchable. I think what is fair to say though, we talk about that entire attack, and while some of these fights were clutchable, they actually needed to clutch fights just to get any progress on the board at all. Anomaly here. You think of that first one where Zoro just finds the kills with the clock out of nothing, even though they lost Crocs early over the train. They've actually just really had to scrap and earn every single fight win here. So it's really not a great push from Anomaly, and it looks like Vision are now set to regain their position in OWCS.
You can see Slow Dive, even with a lukewarm overclock performance in the final fight. The guy is 20-1 right now, absolutely dominating Anomaly. Brutal scenes for Anomaly right now. I mean, they're down to the wire. They lose this, they're straight into that lower bracket game. Vision promoted into OWCS, a hard-fought victory, and Anomaly, in contrast, I mean, they're going to have to fight tooth and nail versus 1-dip versus 100 Gorillas to get their slot. Now, all on the line here as Team Vision walk out of spawn on the same comp. Similar matchup yet again. Crocs on the Hazard, Tama on the Orisa, all very much the same.
Gonna keep going for it. This time, though, obviously, Crocs will get to start on the high ground, can play either on the high ground where he is now by the train, or even in that rooftop above. Look for wall engages. Slow Dive it's the first one, and they all try and turn on Crocs. Crocs has gone deeper and deeper in. Crocs sees a play, he goes for a play, but it was so deep into enemy lines, and now Team Vision have a great opening.
Yeah, Crocs chasing some fool's gold at the end of the rainbow there. Catches absolutely nothing. He's going to make the swap over to Orisa now. Apparently, he's lost all of his aura. Slow Dive's actually going to be traded out. Doubles his deaths in that moment. Eggs with a crucial pick. And Crocs is actually going to be good for the recontest now. You can see he's retaking over through the right-hand side as the backline swings left, same timing. And that is going to be all of Team Vision boxed in a corner here. Everybody inside the Mega recharging. Now comes the swing. One is incredibly low. No Suzu available. TP's up onto the high ground, but all the backline is being pushed in. Crocs needs to get involved, needs to close out these kills, but nothing has been converted. Now that they crash out inside, this is a dicey place to be fighting, Zab.
Violet beats! Kitsune Rush available from Eggs. They might need it. Violet is trying to go forward. Pulse Bomb is out. Zoro takes down Violet in all of that. Kitsune Rush is out from Eggs as Vision just try and get themselves out of that scary, scary room. They flip out onto point, and one has a Kitsune Rush of his own. They're trying to force for Jono, which is going to beat back though, and Tama gets one shot through all of that. No ability to save him. Now they are swarming Slow Dive, and they've got the hold here, Anomaly. Just a few players left to clean up underneath, but Choi, a trade, one battling away, TP's away, Choi with another one in the back, Choi with the Pulse Bomb, He's done it all! It should have been their fight to win, but Choi with a 4K might even make it an ace as Crocs is here alone. What a save from the Korean.
Outrageous clutch coming through from Choi Se-won. You can see now why Team Vision are paying this guy the big bucks. Anomaly getting 2v4'd by Choi Se-won and one massive headshot onto King to open up that trade, and then Choi Se-won, he just cleans up every single kill, hits the pulse bomb. Now Anomaly up, a huge uphill battle here. 4 minutes on the clock for Team Vision. 2 fights. 2-fight margin, and already it doesn't feel like a spawn camp as Anomaly. They're playing quite far behind. They're playing up on the high ground. They need to win a fight fast with Zora's overclock so they can start choking aggressively. But do they have the tools? They need an opening.
Need an opening, but it's going to be Slowdiver goes first. Zora wants for high ground, takes for Jules. Suzu's used on both Sojins as they keep taking it. Terror Surge pulls him into a dangerous position, and Crocs gets 2. Make it 3. Finishes that one off. For Lucio will be traded, but par the course for Lucio, so he'll be back quickly enough. And the Terror Surge from Crocs makes all the difference now.
It's a consequential trade onto Jonowich at the end there, though, because you can see once again Violet has crept ahead on beat charge. Violet got the faster first beat, and he's definitely going to get the faster second one too now that Jonowich is traded and can't get any poking done. King has already been forced all the way back because normally R4 versus 5, Vision spawn is much closer. So not going to be an aggressive choking hold from Anomaly here. Eggs has that Kitsune Rush, can go for it, but already you can see so much position has been given. And normally they pop the Kitsune Rush from the back high ground. It looks like Team Vision are trying and failing to kite it out.
Violet has beat if he wants to try and turn it here. They've just stabilized inside right now. Vision post bomb over the top. Tama tries really hard to walk into his backline but avoids it. They killed Choi outside. They've kept him contained here, but Team Vision, the backline and the tank, just holding their ground. They've got both support ults if they get pushed.
It's looking more and more winnable by the second as the clock is slowly being whittled down. Anomaly managing to make this one work. You can see now Violet gets a little bit over aggressive and will be taken down by Crocs and King together. Not sure what the champion was thinking there. Choi Se-won also going to be taken down by King as he aggresses. Slowdive finds yet another trade onto Jonowich. The traded, but par the course at this point. Lucio's both have beats available at this stage. Once again, Anomaly's close hold is going to be weakened by that trade onto Jonowich.
Jonowich, though, he's getting plenty of practice at his rollout, so I'm sure he'll be back in no time. Bigger problem for Anomaly is potentially that they are a support ult down here, so they can mirror the beat, but the Kitsune Rush will do a lot. So they either need to win fast, try and get Crocs' Terror Surge up, or they just need to try and bleed it out, maybe disengage one of these ults now. All eyes, though, on Vision as it's on them to make the move.
Crocs playing a little bit far behind right now. Kitsune Rush comes out from one, and you can see Anomaly there attempting to cheat this ult. They kite back. Crocs briefly looks for an opportunity to push back in there, but he has decided he is just going to concede the space. Now he's going to get himself back on the cart, but you see he doesn't have fort. He needs to use the ultimate. He gets only Tama with it because it was read like a book. It was a very telegraphed play there from Crocs, and he didn't have the fort to back out of it. So that's going to be a Terror Surge for absolutely nothing.
Terror Surge available for Tama now as they turn it, but they do have double support right now Anomaly to try and deal with that. Choi is trying to force the cart underneath. He's got an angle on Crocs, and now that payload is moving away. They have to be careful. Pulse Bomb good from Gimbo. No Suzu available. Opening pick. X is going to find the kill onto point as well, and Vision, after that early kill, they're going to play it safe, not invest any more ultimates, and that is a great fight there. Only 1 minute left on the clock, Max.
This is a huge fight for Anomaly. What is so important now is that Anomaly continues to fight forward and prevent Choi Se-won from stealing the cart at any given moment. You can see that the cart rolled forward quite a lot in that fight. Vision got meaningful push. They can turn this into last fight territory if they're not careful, and you can see Choi Se-won playing underneath. He's already tapping the cart. This could potentially drag Anomaly into some very awkward space. King fighting for the objective already, but the cart has moved, so it will not be rolling back anytime soon. Last fight territory, and Zora goes down first to Slowdive's overclock. Beat comes out from Violet as well. It's turning into a little bit of a disaster right now for Anomaly as Jonowich is nursing the beat.
Oh, he's nursing it for so long, he's going to die with it. They're going to play for a desperate recontest here. Good stall, actually, from King just to buy those extra respawns. They do have space to work with. And Vision used 4 ults for that. Only a Pulse Bomb. Sorry, 3 ults for that. And one about to have the Kitsune Rush play. They need that Kitsune Rush, but there's a chance now for Anomaly. I think my clean feed's died.
Your clean fit has died. Mine is still alive. Overclock comes out from Zoro, and Slow Dive is the first to fall. Beat from Jonowich to reinforce it. Violet on the run, but not fast enough as he will fall. 3 for Zoro, and it's looking like Anomaly through the skin of their pearly whites. They have clutched it out. They have dragged it over the line and brought themselves some space to breathe as Midtown will go their way. Not an easy one by any means. So many clutch moments from Team Vision. Choice A1 with a 2 versus 4 on first point to clutch it out. But Anomaly, they get it done here on the second point. Good discipline from Jonowich to hold on to that beat to play for the recontest, knowing that they were able to block card. Jonowich is a genius. You're exactly right, Hardy. Are you dead, Xavier?
No, I was back. I ended up behind, but it meant we did see the Zoro 3K just after it was called. So we still got to cap the action. But another big overclock from Zoro in a really important moment for them as well. Mind. And yeah,
Jonowich theory. It's Jonowich theory. Can we get some Jonowich theory?
It's because it looked a real mess, right? Because they ended up taking it like Tama forces for trade on the high ground. Meanwhile, the point is being forced underneath. The ult trade sort of comes out, but then Crocs drops to point before the support ults are coming back out. So it looks all really messy. Like there's no way they can actually win that layered fight. But because they just save the ultimate, they have that coming back. Zoro hits for shots with the overclock. And we were talking like it might just be curtains and focus on the lower bracket, but they've given themselves a lifeline here.
I'm gonna go into the OWCS co-streaming channel, see if I can request the match chat being turned on. Can we get match chat turned on?
Okay. I'm gonna...
Yeah, you know what? I'm done being serious in between the games. Like,
I can...
fuck
yeah.
it. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, like we've had enough of that. You know, we've done that for like what, 3?
Yeah. I feel like we've been like more semi-serious. We've at least been copping a semi for half of it as well, you know, like in and out.
Yeah, this has been like 95% serious for me. This is about as serious as it gets for me, to be honest. So yeah, this is about as serious as it gets. But I'm just not filling in between maps anymore. I'm just gonna request that they turn on match chat.
I'm ready to bump your post. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Like, it's almost more confusing seeing him stand still without the context. Yeah. Yeah, for anyone wondering about the scheduling stuff that's going to go on today, it's a little bit scuffed, by which I mean pretty scuffed, in the fact that North America, similar to EMEA, the first 2 games are going to happen off-stream. And they're also going to overlap with the last game of EMEA today. So we're going to miss a decent amount of that NA action. At least the first game, but there will also be 3 full games of North America. So we'll see all the important games of North America. We just won't necessarily see how it starts.
Why is nobody answering this thinking emoji? Why is nobody answering that? I don't get it.
I think a lot of the people aren't working today.
What, like the people that do the...
I think the production people are working, but the admins are not working today.
Right. So who's doing the pauses?
The next person who types in chat gets to be in charge of pauses for the rest of the day.
Everyone wants to crack me. Everyone just types PP and they hope that somebody clocks it eventually. Thanks, Strata.
LeBron says he'll do it. That'd be a huge...
Have you bumped my message, man? Like, where's...
Oh, wait, sorry. I just got distracted. What do you want me to write?
I don't know. You do you, man. You said you were going to bump it.
Massively. Even though he's a massive prick, he has a really good point here.
Say that. say that word for
Even though I disagree with a lot of his conduct.
His politics.
His conduct. Agree massively. Wait, hold on. Let me rephrase it. Even though I disagree with a lot of his conducts, I have to agree with him on this one. Much better for the viewer experience.
Has anybody figured out why Ziad used the white thumbs down? Has anybody gotten to the bottom of that yet? Are we done skin tone investigating the thumb emoji? Oh, heavens.
CX, what makes Landon better than UV? Please explain. I presume, is this aimed at Baptiste, or are we just speaking in general here? My gut is this is like a Baptiste question, that seems to be what everyone always asks with Landon. But on the Baptiste especially, he just does more damage. His triage is better. This is
just different.
Yeah, like it's maybe like a cop-out of an answer, but he's just a bit better at everything. His ability to keep everyone alive, manage his cooldowns, all better. He does more damage, he hits more shots. He's just better at all of it, you know? Like, I think the biggest comparison that always gets made is people always say, what about Shu? And while Shu has the aim, undoubtedly, and you can make the same argument for some of the better Korean Baps as well, I always think Landon's triage is actually second to none in the world.
Yeah, like, Shu has all of the superstar moments on BAP in terms of fucking killing absolutely everybody with the primary fire, but you will never see in those same clips where Shu is killing absolutely everybody that he will perfectly heal everybody and perfectly lamp. Like, he does literally everything all at the same time, you know? Like, Shu's highlight reel clips are just him killing everyone, and there's no like insane, like, perfect lamp that is also a corner drone that is also perfectly timed to save somebody else on the other side of the map while slamming someone out midair. Like, that's Landon, you know? You watch Landon on the Baptiste, he's just got like a whole other level. And now we're on Circuit Royale.
Wait, there's a follow-up. It was actually in general, not just on Baptiste. So I think all the Baptiste stuff is still applicable, and obviously having an insane, like, best in the world peak on a hero is a huge swing in terms of a player's value to a team. But I think what Landon has proven over the course of this year is his Juno and Kiri is right there with everyone. Like, I think actually you look at who was the best Kiri in Stage 2, it was Landon. He was fragging out of control. Like, important fights, crazy saves on Ziad mid-fight. Again, that comes to not just hitting the shots, but he has his ability to read the situations mid-fight, which can be really difficult on Kiri, right? So much mobility, but with power comes responsibility to use them correctly and get the most out of your abilities. And I think, again, Landon looked the part on that. And I think his Juno, I mean, I think, you know, I wouldn't necessarily rate his Juno above anyone else's, but I think it's been consistent, good raise, gets the job done, really up there with all the other best Junos in the region. So I think, on balance, would I pick Landon above UV? Yeah. Is there maybe some ancient London bias? But I think, actually, looking at the games, looking at the performances back up the theory. Circuit Royale now, though, Max.
Arna Baptiste coming out for Team Vision. Not sure whether they're going to stick the Arna here or if this is just going to be a flash in the pan before Violet gets his ass over to Alari. Hard to tell, as Violet is still sitting in spawn playing Arna, where he can get away with whatever he wants. You can see King holding up on the high ground on the Sombra. This is a little bit of an interesting hold here as Anomaly are trying to take a leaf out of GK Esports' book. Let's see whether they've actually got the ability to play the GK comp properly, as Violet instantly nades top and forces Eggs to hide.
Forces for DP. Crocs is going to peek out, wall behind, but no committal onto the backline. Normally with the GK version, you see them taking a lot of these duels aggressively, using the life grip as a pull, get them out of jail card, but they actually just killed Tamara in the front line there, so harassing from both sides. And this is the first problem that Vision need to solve with this hold, is how do they clear the right-hand side? But they're fully reset for now. Crocs will drop a few little squats, and they'll wait for King to regroup, anomaly with the hold.
Yeah, really not sure that I like this approach from Team Vision to go for the Honor of all things, because again, Honor is a character where you go for the nades to try and find a kill. You're playing into a Life Weaver. Weaver can cleanse the nade. Weaver can grip the naded characters. Thomas swinging over on the right-hand side, taking so much damage, but Team Vision, they do have a lot of ults coming online already. We've been a minute and 20 in, but Slow Dive dead again, pre-fighted. Eggs, oh, just gonna walk in and die to the double angle, but Violet will be traded up by Crocs. So again, if no ultimates are actually invested right now, can we get a grip? Yes! You're so grippy. And there is a chance here for Anomaly to hold on because they've only lost Eggs. Crocs goes deep, and he might be able to find a kill onto Tama.
Nade onto Crocs now, forces him to D-peak for a second. Zoro was in all sorts of trouble. It's a downpour actually there. No cooldowns on the Orisa, but the nanos come out, so Crocs won't be getting those kills. Tree was invested as well. Oh no. And you said they were taking a leaf out of GK's book here, but that tree was not something I'd ever see Admiral do.
No, it does appear that the tree, you know, it was a very dry, dead tree, and it's been set on fire. It has been turned into a bushfire, as Jonowich has had to make the swap over to the Lucio now. No more Life Weaver for Jonowich. King with an EMP, there's a chance to clutch up somewhere in here. He can counter out Choice A1's Blizzard, but he cannot counter out Tama's Terror Surge. So Eggs is going to have to play distance, be very, very careful. King, massive EMP, catches the window from one. Tama goes down instantly. That's exactly what they needed. We've got the lamp to keep them alive, but that's not going to do much of anything as Team Vision completely fall apart. Window wasted.
Window wasted. Can we just do a quick resync as well? Because my internet hates me. I'm on 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Beautiful. Lots of ults coming back for Vision now. Terror Surge, Blizzard can combo these ones together. Anomaly not with a lot. They're going to window early. Wall to counter that one out. Nade onto Crocs as well. Tama's trying to push that one now. Crocs on the back foot. We lob a Blizzard at it. He was already dead, Choi. The rest of Anomaly can walk away from this Blizzard now. Get back to the choke, but they need to get everyone out. Choi wants to keep swinging. A late kill here is brutal for Anomaly.
Backline is on the run for Anomaly right now. King in the back, he hacks up Tama, forces a few skills out. Zoro going for the high noon swing, being sped all the way around the corner. Nobody gonna fall to that one though. Got to be so careful. We can afford to wait for Crocs to get back, but Crocs is back on Doomfist. The aura pick for all of the marbles. Now we've got a swing for Team Vision. The bowler shot comes wide. It will catch Eggs, but Eggs survives. Zoro gonna go down first. Crocs soon to follow. And I'm not sure that we needed to come back on Doomfist here for that one. I'm not sure that we needed to swing with the high noon either. Maybe we could have come back on Orisa and high nooned in the neutral, played for Jonowich's beat drop, but we all know that Anomaly doesn't like to play slow. They like to run it down mid and play fast every single turn.
Bought the high noon, bought them enough time for that just to come back on Orisa or a more standard hero. Now, though, they're on the Lucio Orisa. King is onto the Venture as they come back out of this initial choke. Slow dive with an early pick, though. And Anomaly have a choice. Do they double down and play for trades, or do they just reset? And reset seems to be the choice. They all live for now, but very much on the back foot here.
Yeah, back foot indeed as Team Vision, they're stepping up and they are just doing the classic Circuit Royale move of leaving one player on the cart alone to do nothing while the remainder of the team holds forward and chokes you out. King borrowing deep, but apparently Slowdive is going to miss every single bolt. Beat pushed through the window, but Jonowich is hammed up by a bowler shot. Tama goes deep and is being pocketed through the window, and this is looking like a complete collapse here for Anomaly, as they cannot get out of this choke. They cannot fight on the long stretch. All of these ultimates burn, pushing out into the open, and nothing has come of it. Great counter winnow from one, great bowler shot from Slowdive, and a better still Terror Surge from Tama. That's going to be a clean second point now for Team Vision.
Team Vision, when they play the slower comp, they have to use a lot of their ultimates to try and keep that space for their backline. We saw even the bowler being used now just to keep Anomaly's push at bay. And Anomaly now going to play a slightly different approach, swapping over onto the brig here. So going for a slower backline there of their own. No speed ring, no Lucio to amp themselves through, so they're going to have to rely a lot more on just winning these side fights with their Brig Genji, trying to dominate this position, but the ult cycles might be particularly difficult once we get to that. But now King is going to run into this Orisa. Deflect has been used, and Tama's just going to ignore him actually and just try and go forward, so King has this flank available to him.
Really making the move over to the Brigitte, it is relying entirely on King to carry, because the Brig is going to have such a hard time doing anything from an individual standpoint. Apparently we don't need King to carry if Zoro can once again take down Slowdive in the neutral. Now King slithering on in from the side. Nano Boost was actually invested in all of that. Oh, Crocs is taking so much damage, but he 180 spears Choice A1 out of his ice block. Crocs needs help. Overclock is going to be invested by Zoro. He does not want to let this fight go, but it's a shame to see Anomaly need to burn that one. It felt like they had a good little exchange with Vision there, baiting out the Nano Boost, trading that for a Terror Surge, but ultimately, Anomaly, they've had to use 2 for 1 there, and Violet's going to make the move over to the Zenyatta. He really wants to counter out the Brigitte now.
Going to swap again onto the Alari now, a hero we see him play a lot on this map, but very much the same concept as the Zen. They're going to walk through main, and Crocs is kind of alone up top right, so he's just going to have to concede his space early as well. So they're going to back up to this next corner. Importance here for Anomaly is that they keep control of that high ground. Again, you can see King threatening this flank, but now Choi has moved over to match him.
Oh, very dangerous for Zoro up on the high ground, takes a bolt on the chin, but you can see Eggs is in a position to help him out. Perhaps a window available to keep him in the mix, but not even going to need it. Crocs has taken so much damage on the low ground though. Eggs needs the pocket, but no, the combo is so good. Tama sucks Eggs from the window, and Choice A1 blizzards at the same timing. Jonowich has the rally, but might not even be able to find the timing to use it. It's only Zoro left standing, but Zoro needs to be the one to touch the card. Choice A1 is going to be able to throw up a May wall somewhere in this. Wall's the side. It's a sideways wall as well. It's well positioned, but still Crocs gets the touch. And now that the staggers are coming out for Anomaly, King has a blade. Jonowich has the rally. You can see the rally in the back. King pulls the blade. Good deflect onto Violet, who shoots himself in the head. Even better lamp from one. Slip being given, but not enough, as Violet and Choi are both going to go down. 3-for-1 exchange. Team Vision, they can't close this one out. One last chance.
Really heads up play from Zoro there. He was on Sojourn. He goes back into spawn. He comes out Tracer so he can get more of a touch. But most importantly, he goes a different Dawn and Crocs, so Choi can only wall one side. Now, huge waves of swaps coming through from Anomaly. Diva, Bap, Juno, back on the Sojourn as well. Just trying to get onto something that's a bit more competitive, can contest these high grounds, because Team Vision, they have the ult advantage, but King is playing to flank.
King all the way behind. It's an all-in flank. He needs to find value, but there's already a Baptiste behind him. He's got a good angle to break the Lamp. He dashes through everybody. He's taking so much damage. Lamp is forced out of his team as a result. Captive Sun comes out, but Choice A1, he's going to catch it on the chin. Violet can't get it done with this Captive Sun. He can get it done with this Captive Sun. Eggs is going to go down, so will King. Tama's in a spot of bother in main, though. He's taking so much damage, and looks like Crocs has eaten all of his healing. It's only Squishy's left standing, and Crocs, he's in a position to clean this up, but he needs a kill right this second, that if he can't get it done, it might be a disaster for Anomaly. Eggs is coming back on the Lucio. Crocs is trying to play life, ping-ponging in and out. Jonowich burning on the cart as Violet shifts on. Violet finds another kill onto King. Violet finds a shot onto Eggs. This is the Overwatch League champion that we all know. You can see he's standing still to type, of course. Sadly, we're not going to get to see it. It's a secret. Team Vision, outrageous clutch at the end there as Violet does it all. Captive Sun, triple kill on all of the squishies required, and Crocs just couldn't get it done. He is disgusting.
So tough for Crocs now. He has to stay an anchor point. When they get Tama down, it suddenly feels like now Violet has to move into this vulnerable position, but he is getting that full pocket from one, which just allows Violet, between one and the pylon pocket, he's just able to pump out damage. He hits all these shots, delivers on it, and they get the full cap in the end, which important moment here, because then it means they get another chance at the attack no matter what now. Remember, this is Vision looking to seal their place in OWCS for Stage 3. So super important on a map that is normally so strong for them. Now they are able to convert here, but Violet really helping them over the line at the end.
This truly tragic for the side of Anomaly, losing to Violet. Just aiming his way all the way to victory there in that final turn. Felt like Anomaly had found a solution there, getting over to the Genji, getting over to these faster characters, making it a little bit awkward for Violet, but ultimately the guy's clutch factor is incredibly high. Now Anomaly on the offense, they're playing the double flex support right now. They're going for the Bapalari Genji. Maybe they'd be wise to make a swap over to the Lucio with this Genji. Just go for something fast. Try and take down that side group with tempo rather than by matching poke for poke. Because I really don't think that going poke for poke versus this team is the way to win. And Lucio's available to you right now, so you best play it.
Looks like they will walk out of the Bap. Alari both have committed here, so Jonowich having to flex over onto the Bap, allowing Eggs to play the Alari, in theory the higher impact, higher carry role. Troy just playing the May, and Team Vision are doing the version of a hold where they essentially give the first part and they just play for one good hold on this final corner here. But means they've got limited room for error, as with for now. Just for cart moving, going to be long range poke trades.
Just long-range poke trades for the time being. You can see lots of card push being conceded by Team Vision. They want to play for the long stretch here around the corner. Slowdive getting quite aggressive. He's going to be double bolted by Zoro. A little bit overzealous there from Slowdive, not really paying attention to the enemy Freya, and has had to pay a very heavy price for it. You can see Violet absolutely hooning towards the Captive Sun. He might have this online to match Jonowich's window, but if Jonowich just keeps the pressure up and swings with the window right now, they could close the first point right here and now. Let's get the tempo going, Jonowich. Come on, throw down that window.
Dropped it.
Rubbish.
Wall comes out to try and counter it a little bit. They're still finding a bit of an angle, but there's a chance for a window back from one. Will DP kick Captive Sun available from Violet, as well as Eggs, so going to be a reset next turn of ultimates.
Very weak window from John, which Eggs actually comes in with the catches on, catches everybody. The entire backline of Team Vision is sunned up, but somebody needs to pop it. Everybody is popping right now, but it's actually going to be Anomaly that catch the cactus on the chin as well. Crocs pushing deep as well. He's been sunned by Violet. Bowler Shot comes out on the corner, catches nobody. That's slow dives Bowler Shot. Violet being bolted by Zoro now. Anomaly once again with a combo available. Terra Surge and Bowler combo. Terra Surge comes out. Bowler in kind. Slow dive's going to go down to that one. And Team Vision, I'm not sure they have the opportunity to turn this one. Choi Ceylani pops out. He uses the Blizzard on the cart. Combo comes through, but it's not much of a combo at all as Tama, he sucked him to the periphery of the Blizzard. He only takes down a pylon and a lamp. One is incredibly low, so is Violet, but we're not out of the woods yet because Tama's pushing deep. Eggs shades of Violet there as he takes down both supports from Team Vision, and Anomaly should be good for the first point cap here.
Came down to about a 3v3, but Eggs just finds for shots. That Terra Surge Bowler combo, really?
What's he saying?
Does anyone know? I can see his lips moving, but I can't hear the words.
Is there a mime in the server? Somebody let us know. Turn on the match chat. Start the movement at OWCS. Turn on match chat. Let Crocs speak. He's not chat banned anymore, and he's got something to say to Violet. Anomaly now stepping up to the plate. They have King's Blade. They have another Bowler Shot. They've got double support ultimate. They've got all of the tools to keep the snowball going. Violet, he pops the Cactus Sun first tempo, throws it into the backline. It looks good. He takes down Zoro immediately. King as well. So Violet once again coming up trumps with his ultimate, but he will be traded.
We'll get traded. Chance for maybe a bit of a quicker retake here from Anomaly, but nature of playing Bapalari's, none of your retakes are that quick because you've got no speed. You have to just take it slow, clear your space. King has the Blade ready to go, and Zoro has the Bowler bow, so he can use some of these. Maybe use the Bowler even early, just clear a little bit of the space. Try and set King up as best you can. Maybe even hit a Terra Surge Blade combo, because this is a tricky part of the map to attack. Need to use a lot to get through it. They do have the tools, though, Anomaly.
Window for one. If he can play up the back, he could counter out an aggressive push, but King, he comes in, he gets one, but Choi Say-Wan with the counter dash. 1-for-1 exchange right now, but Anomaly, they are going to be able to push the cart further and further up. We're in last fight territory now, and the Wombo combo is available to them. Crocs pushes deep. He catches everybody. The lamp looks good from one, but he's not in a position to survive. And look, the cart keeps on rolling this whole time. If no trades come through right now, it's going to be almost impossible for Team Vision to recontest this. No players that can touch cart except the Genji. Really going to need an outrageous clutch, but Choi kills Eggs.
One shot through, but he is traded. Crocs is still bullying them back up a choke. Can anyone else touch? No is the answer. 4 minutes on the clock for Anomaly on third point. Choi gave him a chance with that one shot, but the immediate trade snuffed all of that out. Crocs is still in a right old scrap here. Lamp to force in. Terra Surge from Tama to try and turn the kills. They will turn the kills, but a Terra Surge Bolo just for that fight there. They already fell ahead.
Feels like a very strange decision from Team Vision. Perhaps they want this series to well and truly go the distance as they invest the combo in the choke when they normally have an outrageous respawn advantage, and already Team Vision was in a position to essentially hold on to that regardless. Very expensive fight for seemingly no reason, and now Anomaly, they get to swing back in with their own ultimates. You can see King's taking a lot of damage. Feels as if it would be a wise decision for him to get off the Sombra. It's very hard to work your way in on Sombra right here, and very low contribution in the neutral. Another very shallow window comes out from Jonowich. That Bappa seemingly lost as he goes for some of the weakest windows possible. But Violet getting traded out, that is crucial. That's going to really weaken Team Vision's spawn camp, and normally need to be careful not to be staggered here.
Crocs is most certainly going to be staggered here now. One versus everyone. We'll get reset. Anomaly can regroup and go again. And King does at least now have this EMP. Saving Grace of the Sombra is always his super powerful ultimate that can guarantee you these fight wins. Team Vision, they don't have a lot to throw at this. A window can get counted out by the EMP. The key for Vision here is force the EMP in this fight rather than letting Anomaly have it to finish the map. A hacks are clear on the left here, and now they're trying to get King in position for this EMP.
Tama's taking a beating as well. King looking for an opportunity to pop the EMP, but again, the neutral fight is so weak for the Sombra. Need to get off it. Crocs is in the back, and he's going to go down to the window. This is turning into an utter mess for Anomaly as fight after fight, they're being cycled one after another. Slow dive and Tama, they're closing in on another combo. Thankfully, Violet incapable of preventing himself from being traded in these advantage situations.
Chance to poke their way back in, but Troy able to find Eggs. Back to 4v4, but the spawn is much closer for Anomaly, and they have all these ultimates, but the longer they wait, the smaller their advantage gets. They need to find a timing, but they've not cleared any space yet. They're just going to full wait for Eggs before they go.
Look at this. King, I really need to see what he can get done on this Sombra because he just can't work his way in at the moment. You can see now Crocs stepping up first. Tama aggressing in the choke. Again, the combo comes out. EMP comes out in main. It's rubbish. Finally catches Choice A1. 1-for-1 trades here. Need more from Anomaly to close this one out. Terra Surge from Crocs. He hasn't found any kills yet. We're still trading 1-for-1. Violet being healed by his pylon in the choke. King scrapping it out up on the high ground. Fortunately, he will. No way Violet ults this. Violet hops the ult, takes down Zoro. Is he going to kill Jonowitch as well? Chasing Jonowitch in the spawn. Are these trades worthwhile? So many members of Team Vision have been backspawned. What's the point of this?
Yeah, I mean, it looks really cool. He technically clutches a fight, but with the spawn disadvantage, they're still going to be forced back nonetheless. Tama is back now, and this is where they can really hold it. But a window from Jonowitch aggressively this time, forcing them back. Tama is in the open now. Jonowitch's lamps to keep pushing, but they don't get any kills out of it. Team Vision, can they all get out of this one? Window comes back. Crocs is in huge trouble. Gets round the corner. No ults to turn the fight. Crocs is isolated a little bit here, but they've managed to stabilize.
Yeah, there's a double angle right now, so it's too hard to push, but the bowler shot comes through and catches Eggs. Eggs not able to survive through that one. Now it's a 4 versus 5, and this is the last fight for Anomaly. The Fortify comes out from Crocs to trade onto Slowdive. Crucial kill. Now there's some space to breathe for Anomaly as no longer can Team Vision continue to push. Choice A1, he's 97% of his way to the blade, though, and that could be the decision maker. That could close out the entire series right here and now. We need to be ready to counter out this blade from Choice A1. Great positions for the side of Anomaly up on the high ground. Look at this, Zoro gets bladed. Oh my god, Zoro kills Choice A1. Massive clutch. Recall out from Slow Dart. That's a hit scan player on Tracer in the clutch right now as Team Vision backs to the wall. Zoro, he keeps pushing top. Crocs takes down Slow Dive. Captive Son comes out from Eggs. Violet is Captive Sonning, but he's actually caught up by it. He will hit Eggs, but he's dead. Tama's dead as well. There's nobody that can clutch this.
Unbelievable. Touch comes through from Choi on the venture here, trying to buy valuable time. We are into overtime. No more chances. Choi will fall. Respawns, where are they? Tama nearly has Terra Surge. And normally need to deal with these threats quickly. They nearly have 3 ultimates. Touch comes through. One dies for it now. Overclock onto the high ground. Violet is low. They will clean this one up. Terra Surge does pull everyone in, but Zoro's killed everyone else, so they will be fine. They will finish the cap. And they're not out of it yet, Anomaly.
I fear Zoro may very well be next up, as these are some outrageous moves coming through from him. Great position up onto that top right high ground, forces Choice A1 to make a decision. Commit your dash and push deep, and then you're pushing into a lamp and apparently into a fully charged Sojourn that does not miss the shot in the clutch. Thank you, Zoro, for bringing us to a 1-to-1 here on Circuit Royale. Mind you, Team Vision, they used their most valuable band right here on this map. If they lose their best map with their most valuable band, 2 maps in a row essentially being reverse swept, having 2 what felt like guaranteed victories ripped away from them, you know they will tilt. You know their minds will shatter. This is Anomaly's chance to really twist the dagger and potentially turn this series all the way around. Insane clutches coming through from Anomaly here.
Huge. It looked like Choi had the finishing blow there as well. Just a blade into nothing. Just needed someone to hit a shot, but Zoro delivers, as he so often has done for this team. And now, 1 minute on the clock for both teams. Anomaly will start on the defense first, and we are back over onto the BAP Live Weaver. And this was a real problem for Team Vision on this first corner here. The key for Team Vision, of course, is clearing the left-hand side from Vision's point of view. So that's what they've got to focus on, and it looks like Violet won't be trying the Ana at least initially here, so maybe a more direct approach to clear out this top left area.
Attacker's advantage in play for Team Vision. Hate to see that. Very painful stuff. But I really like this hold from Anomaly. It looked quite decent for them last time, even though there was a crippling loss for Eggs. You can see right now, though, Crocs is being beaten down in the corner, gripped away straight away, and this is not good at all for Anomaly now, as their hold has been shattered by an aggressive push from Vision. I don't know how this is possible. That was not good space for Team Vision's comp, but somehow they've just walked over Anomaly's hold. No value whatsoever, and this is worst case scenario for them, really. You can see full swaps as they come back in.
Swaps now, Orisa, Genji coming back through, keeping the Life Weaver as it's their closest ult. They need the tree. No, they're swapping the tree as Papillari. They're going onto the full mirror, but this just means slight ult disadvantage on all fronts. But there is time for a neutral before the ults come, but Anomaly need this fight to be over quickly, or they will just be at ult disadvantage.
This is the sort of fight which could be ended before the ults come online. These swaps from Anomaly. King gonna have to go fast on the Genji or not at all. You can see the pylon trying to pocket him desperately through it, and Zoro again delivers time and time again, but Slowdive does have a bowler shot, and Eggs has somehow been traded with this advantage. So it's a 4v4, and Slowdive pops the bowler. It lands on the Baptiste. Should be a lamp to keep Jonowich alive, but still Anomaly, they're bleeding out. They need more. They need a kill, and it's going to be King falling. Zoro, how much more can one man do? He's looking for a kill. He cannot seem to find one right now as the backline of Anomaly are being pinned to the wall by Slowdive. It's falling to pieces, Xavier. Team Vision, all they've had to use is their bowler shot. 5v4, and Anomaly can't close it out. How was Eggs traded there?
Worst case now for Anomaly. Once we get into these deep overtime situations, it can be really big for the snowball, especially if one team has the ult advantage in these situations. Double support ult and a Terror Surge to combo with them too. Maybe even that bowler in time for Team Vision if they want to throw this one in. Team Vision with all the tools. Anomaly, maybe the overclock. Captive Sun through early from Violet as they look for it. Goes for it. Sucks them in. It was eaten both, so they don't get the combo off. Violet is still low. Window to keep pushing it now. Anomaly trying to survive all of it. Deflect from King helps get his team out of it, but they're still so low. They will get the kills, and look how far this car has gone.
It is absolutely chalked for Anomaly. They are being pushed all the way back to spawn. We are about to see a 5-3 cap here, as I don't think it's even possible to recontest. We're already on third point, just off the back of a couple of sloppy fights in a row. 1 minute on the clock, and Vision have taken it. Oh, well and truly the distance at this stage. You can see Crocs walking back up. Anomaly should be good to close out this fight. The ultimate advantage would suggest so. But at this point, it's a crushing defeat. Bowler shot comes out from the flank from Slowdive. King will catch that kill. You can see at the same time Eggs has popped the Captive Sun. We need kills. King is walled off outside right now. Bowler shot comes through. Combo. Everything in the kitchen sink being thrown in to combo with the Terror Surge. Card stops at third point. It's not over yet, Xavier, but I hate to see it.
It's a fight win. They get the stop, but it feels very much like a loss. And that amount of distance given up, really hard. And now, of course, Anomaly, attacker's advantage situation. They now get to be very picky with where they invest their ultimates now on this defense. They have fights to give with this level of push. So we're asking a lot from Anomaly. We've been on the verge of counting them out before after they went 2 maps down and they battled back, and they battled back from what looked like where they were going to get hold on their third point attack. So they've got out of situations before, but this is maybe the biggest ask. 2 meters, well, 2 points and 8 meters in a minute. No room for error, no room for trades. They're going to have to clutch more situations. It's tough. It's really tough. And yeah, Team Vision just going to start on the same comp again here. Start with the Bapalari, start with the Mei.
Yeah, it really stings. I mean, ultimately, it all fell apart for Anomaly on account of the fact that they started on Hazard, Sombra, Bap, Weaver, and they swapped after one fight. They didn't commit to the bit. They fell apart for what felt like nothing, and then they swapped everything, which means that they are almost guaranteed to be snowballed. You give away all of those ults on defense, you don't commit to the bit, you don't stay on the Weaver for the tree, you're going to lose. You can't make it work if you delete all of your ults after one fight. Hook shot out of spawn from Zoro. I mean, this guy has been consistently delivering all day long, but this time around he's not going to hit that hook shot. And Team Vision, they're just going to play for the long hold, as we saw them do last time.
This is going to bleed time off the clock as well, so it's going to be very much one proper fight, and Eggs is going to fall early to Tama here, so they can still push the car up, but with that player advantage, Vision will feel emboldened to take forward, take a few more duels, get their Mei and Orisa a little bit more involved. Any trade will be valuable here for Anomaly, but it doesn't look like anything's coming their way.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as if Anomaly have anything to stand on anymore, as Eggs once again being traded, and Violet just taking all of the opportunity in the world to keep on swinging, keep on taking risk. He wants to pump in as much damage as he possibly can. You can see Violet already 70% of the way to a Captive Sun, and it's looking like this series may very well be closed out with the Captive Sun bursting all over Anomaly. Slowdive already has that bowler shot. Crocs has to touch the card now as the overtime wick begins to tick down. Jonowich pops the window, but the bowler shot is massive. It has put everyone so incredibly low. King's on top of Slowdive, actually. So they will survive this first layer, but here comes the Captive Sun.
Captive Sun coming over the top from Violet very soon. Eggs is about to have one to match, but they can trade their way through this. Captive Sun popped by Violet. Eggs is going to use it in response as well. Eggs goes for the players on the ground. Violet still holding, goes for the Baptiste. Jonowich is going to jump in, does get the trigger. Eggs good for one as well, and Eggs gets two actually. 3v3 all to play for, but Slowdown finds Eggs. Now it's just Crocs. 1 versus 3. Nowhere for them to go. Blizzard on point just to be sure. Terror Surge will not be killing 3. Javelin in the ground, the final nail in the coffin for Anomaly in this series. Vision are going to OWCS.
Vision have made it to OWCS. Nothing says a storied roster like $1 trillion more than the next best competition in the tournament. So nothing but respect to Vision. Few imports, get them over the line, get them out of relegation. Go your life, of course. Go your life. It's a shame we couldn't see the match chat here for this one. We've actually brought out the top minds, all of the analysts for this moment here. I swear Rich Rat is changing his hairstyle between, like, every time they turn the camera on, his hairstyle's, like, completely changing. I can't be the only person seeing that, right? Like, it was like, all the way up here at the start, and now it's down here. Like, maybe he's not changing it. Maybe it's just, like, slowly losing steam. But, yeah, I think it looks better now than it did before, to be honest. Either way, Team Vision, 3-1, Anomaly straight into the lower bracket, and they have to play again for qualification, right? Next game is qualification or elimination.
Yeah. We did talk about it when they were 2 maps down, that Anomaly, you just need to keep their heads in these situations, right? What you don't want is one loss in the upper bracket to snowball into a loss in the lower bracket in what is really, an even more important game now because it's their last chance. But after those last 2 maps, I think if I'm an Anomaly fan, easy for me to say, I'm not actually that worried at all. Those last 2 maps, very respectable. Even a lot of that Circuit Royale, they were just matching Bapalari, one of Vision's best comps into them, and they looked competitive on it. It was really, if anything, it was like an overtime comp choice, then changing the comp choice after one fight, and that really hurt them, much more than their ability to play the matchup itself. So I think if I'm Anomaly, I'm still very confident going into this series.
Yeah, I do feel as if Anomaly, they had a very strong showing against Vision, and they should be good for this one. They should be good to close it out. I think, that being said, Dip was seriously, he was a presence, and I'd be a little bit worried about, the Jonowich Eggs backline going up against Dip when he's turning water to wine, or perhaps even bread to fish today. Either way, though, I think it's entirely possible that Anomaly can get over the line on this one, and we do see a little bit of a changing of the guard coming through, as the 2 teams that are actually coming through from OWCS are both, relegated out of the tournament, and both of the promo teams managed to make it in. Possibly.
Yeah, it's weird because we actually had that event did happen the first time around. We just did a full changing of the guard. I think we're in both regions, if I remember correctly. So Anomaly really on the up here as well. What's worth noting as well, we talked about it didn't actually transpire with how the fixtures went, but obviously Frosttails was the team that removed Crocs back at the start of Stage 2 to replace them with Magin, and Crocs had to go and find another team in Face It Master to compete with, and now Frosttails, their chances have already gone, but Crocs still has his fate in his own hands.
Violet gets player of the match for clutching up out of this world at, a couple of different moments on Ilari after, selling like 60 to 70% of the series. Like Slowdive is actually putting up like a pretty insane performance, to be honest. Like had pretty good maps.
I think it's because obviously whenever you look at this roster, a lot of the attention is on Violet and Troy, as you would expect, as the big name imports. But I think Slowdive has sort of really crept into just a very top of EMEA hit scan type thing, Like maybe we're obviously not talking. I'm not talking like Quartz Libs and that kind of thing, right? But competitive with a lot of these top hit scans around, and being like a big value here. I think whenever you get these big imports into teams in EMEA, you need the local players to back it up as well. And I think Slowdive has actually really established himself as an OWCS level hit scan.
Yeah. I don't know. I think top of OWCS might be a little bit of a stretch. Sometimes it's easy to fall into the trap of being like, this guy is insane. This guy is an absolute monster when you watch them play through relegation. And then you realize that they are, in fact, playing versus players that do not have the greatest of movement compared to what you might see at the top of the actual regional OWCS. And then, they get dog walked when they actually get into the main competition. Not to diminish a good performance here in promo relegation. You just got to remember that there is a little bit of a different standard of play across the board here.
I think I'd probably put it in that sort of like 5th/6th type level, like in and around the mix for those type teams. But that's not a bad thing to have if you're fighting for promotion, to have a player who can go compete around that level. And honestly, hard to argue that Vision don't deserve it based off the back of their performances. Even after the occasion for one loss they got delivered by Anomaly and Face It Masters, they quickly redeemed themselves with a 4-0 the next day. This series was ultimately fairly dominant as well. They won, probably most impressively, those Kiri-Lucio matchups too.
Yeah. I mean, they're surely going to give the team a little bit of time now, right? Like,
yeah,
they're not going to throw them instantly into it. 10 minutes? Exclamation mark Glaze onto. Thank you, Freak Tough. I was thinking it's time to make a coffee. It's really, it must be coffee time now.
I need a drink as well.
What?
All right, chat, you're in charge. Talk amongst yourselves. Do you know what NA game you want to stick Hannah Sophie on as well? Like, it'll overlap, but just where we should put her.
Has she fixed the frame rate issue?
Oh wait, maybe she can't do it anyway. But she says if it's late, she can't do it. What constitutes as late is probably... I'll just message her back. Come back to this. Let's get our drinks and stuff. We have time to figure it out.
Yeah, let's get a couple drinks going. You'll sound a whole lot better. Where the hell am I going? I feel like I'm lost. Like, I reloaded my save, and like, now I don't know. Like, this feels like I'm... Like, did I come this way? I feel like I came this way. You're grabbing it? That's nice, fat commies. Walking up the mountain, just like Jesus. Yes. I think that's a good comparison. Follow the trail up. Yeah, it felt like it was very lateral, you know? Like, this is up, but then this is down. You know, like... What game is this? There's no way you need to ask that question. How could you ever need to ask such a fool's question? Finally, yeah, it's taken a while. Isn't she a fucking bundle of joy? Low-key, I feel like Tree wouldn't know what this game is. I think that could be true. I think Tree's like, maybe one of Tree's first games. Hey, I stopped harassing the woman. She's like, I'd prefer to leave it there. And I tried one more time and then I left, you know, that's... It's like, she's like, I'd prefer to leave it there, thank you. And then there's just like another dialogue option that's right there to be exhausted. It's like, surely they get that get her saying that for the bottom option. Oh God. Oh God. Look at this immersive combat experience. Oh my God, this guy just pumped me. He's gonna kill me. No, I haven't saved in ages. Oh shit. All right, I need to not die here. So it's a healing potion angle and a magic potion angle, because otherwise I'm legit. Shock him. I don't know, fire was better. No. You think I can survive another hit right now? Keep running, keep running. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Strat is just to run through. If you're a pussy, cheers. I had him dead to rights, cat. Dead to rights. Gonna make a cup of coffee. Do you want one? I legit need to make a cup of coffee myself so bad before this next game starts, but like I don't want to leave while Xavier also leaves, because what if I come back and you've all left me, you know? Like there's nobody to fill the gap. Why is he playing Elden Ring? This is Dark Souls 2. What do you think these tablets say? I should have been reading the tablets, getting immersed in the lore. Emblem 6, with roaring tongues, the Sky Children boring. just make sure that I get a little closer to over-encumbered by taking those berries. Dark Souls 2 is peak. That is delusion. Why is he playing Jerk, mate? I'm addicted.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Oh.
I haven't started making the coffee yet, so pretty good.
Oh, did you just fill?
Yeah, I've just been playing Skyrim, mate. I'll leave it in your capable hands now, though.
Oh.
How does that sound?
You're the second best filler I know. I want to talk about eSports World Cup group time. We've got 5 minutes. Yeah, we can talk about it. Let me bring it up. Let's get another Wikipedia open. Let's put it over here. Why am I getting mentioned? Maybe that's an old message. Where am I going? eSports World Cup. Mid-season championship. So yeah, groups confirmed. I imagine a lot of you already saw this on Wikipedia, on Reddit, on Twitter. Saw it somewhere. Yeah, I mean, I think everything. It was always to be expected that one team was going to get screwed by the last chance qualifier spot, and the fact. Let's turn this music down. And the fact that obviously that last chance qualifier spot was going to be one of Zeta or Falcons in all likelihood. So, yeah, tough for VP. If you remember when we were covering the EMEA playoffs, we talked about the seeding will be important. And you can see that very much if you look at the difference between Virtus.pro seeding and Twisted Mind seeding. That clutch in the lower bracket where Twisted Minds closed out the map 5 is going to be huge for it. Because now, in that group, it looks like Twisted Mind should come through. Like, if the sim is still viable, which feels like it should be, I think T1 and Twisted Minds are actually relatively strong favourites for that. Nightmare's biggest strength, obviously, Chronic, right? But I think Chronic versus Quartz, much more even matchup. Chronic has a significant Freya advantage, I think, in North America. But I think with players like Quartz, players like Lubda, that gap between EMEA is a lot closer. Group B, probably quite. This one's nice and easy, right? Crazy Raccoon will probably come out on top. Team Liquid second. Nice and easy for both of them. Team Liquid actually gets in a very favourable draw there. And I think, again, if you look at Group C, OWCS, GK both getting a pretty favourable group as a result of winning their respective regions. Especially when you consider OWCS actually did very well in this, considering how low EMEA seeding was out of all the regions. Group A is obviously, that is the tough one. That's the real tough one. Yeah, so for people asking questions, yeah, the TBD team is the winner of the last chance qualifier. Varel is the Japanese team, but Gatos Guapos is the Pacific team, the one with Rack on it, maybe you know it through that, and Zocorp is the Brazilian team. So Group A is the tough one. I think AG still remain strong favourites from this group, honestly. I put them really high up. I think the parity and the level in Korea was so high in Stage 2, it's hard not to make every Korean team the favourites for their group. The big question is that last chance qualifier team, Falcons or Zeta. I think it will be Falcons to win the last chance qualifier. And as a result, I think you just have to favour the two Korean teams to get through. I know we saw Weibo do very well against Falcons back at the first major. But I think Winston is in a really terrible place right now. That's going to hurt them. They're going to have to rely on the Hazard in a lot of situations. Fair play to Weibo. Gushway's very good on the Hazard. The Hazard Kiriluso is a good comp for them. So Weibo, I think, are far from out of the running. I think it's Virtus.pro who might struggle the most. Maybe in some ways, Virtus.pro's best matchup might actually be against AG in a weird way. But I think Virtus.pro, yeah. If anything, what Virtus.pro might have to rely on is if they can play the sim. I know they weren't the strongest in the region, but if the sim is still viable and really heavily meta, maybe VP's best hope here is some type of sim comp through all of it. It's possible, right? It's possible, especially think Virtus.pro would have played a lot against TM, a lot against OWCS, the best sim teams in the world right now. I think it's really possible that's their best course of action. Will it be enough? That's a much bigger question for sure. Much bigger question. I think if you had to ask me to like do it right now, I'd probably go AG Falcons, presuming they win LCQ, then Weibo, then Virtus.pro. But I think Yeah, I mean, it's tough for Virtus Pro. I mean, that's what you get if you're the third seed from your region. You get a tough group. You look at Nightmare, they've got a tough group. You look at Team CC, they've got a tough group. It's the nature of finishing third in your region that it will be tough.
Apparently NA's on right now.
NA's on right now, they've started. Oh wow, so we're going to get a huge overlap. Has anyone got... CC is the Chinese team. Has anyone got a stream for it? Let's see.
Yeah, it's a Narwhal OW.
Oh yeah, the support player.
Is that Julian in that ad?
Doing the voiceover. Oh, he does it for one of the faceit ones. I wasn't completely locked into that.
Wow.